You say you're shooting a special now?
No. Try. I submitted an hour.
You know, again, I've done 3, and I'm really gonna wait. When I get another hour, I'm happy with it because I'm still in the mixed match thing, and I get away with it. But when I get an hour, I'm torn with it to make money for a while before I fucking give it away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's because there's so much work to. Are we all ready? Wait, let me. I need an ashtray, some cookies.
Pre-show checklist, ashtray, cookies.
It's the same checklist as Bruce General had for the Sawyer interview.
I'm excited for that.
I am. What comic isn't? I'm listening to the fucking song!
Such a great...
Gino, I would have taken you more for a Youngblood fan.
Well, I mean, there's stuff I laugh to and stuff I work my deal to.
Well, of course he's a Youngblood. All right. That sound you hear is me eating a gluten-filled cookie on the Artie Quitter podcast. Well, we ran the numbers. It's the single most unsuccessful podcast in the history of broadcasting, and it's something we're proud of. We were second to last, and then Gino came on and put us right in the fucking basement.
That's right. And not over the top, under the bottom.
If you're going to be bad, be the worst.
Thank you.
It loses money. It's not reaching people. I think some of the political issues I wanted to try and help with, that's fallen by the wayside. So it's a complete empty experience now, except for the fact that I get to hang out with friends, quality broadcasters, quality technicians, quality comedians and their friends. And I welcome those people into my apartment anytime. I do the show in my kitchen. I've been late 11 times. As I said before, I'm trying to negotiate where I put a microphone in my bedroom to try to really get on time every day. But, you know, that's just because I like my fans. I don't want to shit on them. Gino, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think some fans, there's a select few that would enjoy the shitting on them part, but that's a pay-per-view kind of deal. For the most part, I like where you're going with this, Artie.
If anyone understands what Gino said, call in at 1-800-262.
How do you not get that? You flat out said you tried to dish to the left. You tried to do a little dish and not have me ready, and I immediately said there's a select group of people. Oh, there, I fucked up. I said select.
Let's move on.
Shall we?
Big Jay Okerson's here. Unbelievable comic. Great guy.
Thank you.
And a guy I worked with recently. Quick, fast. He was always good, but he did the work, and now he's even better. I'm proud to have him here. Could use a few sit-ups, but who couldn't? Jay Okerson.
Who couldn't?
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here.
Are you?
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, Marlboro Red. You're saving up for miles. Maybe get the kayak. Me and you will have the canoe.
A tent? Yeah. We'll get matching red sweatsuits.
And then like a tent, some bug repellent. I think that's 16 miles. We could do that.
They don't still do the miles, do they?
Do they not?
I don't know.
They must.
I'm genuinely curious.
I think that was a big moneymaker for him, big promotion.
There was nothing better than like being
Saving
a kid and like your friend's fat mom would have like Ziploc bags full of like those
Friend's
miles.
fat mom. What about my fat mom?
My fat mom smoked Cools like she was banging black dudes.
Did she really?
Like,
Oh yeah.
like she was.
Yeah, I think it was
After she was done.
Maybe.
You know, them's fighting words, motherfucker.
You brought from Philly? I don't know.
Hey, I'm in the black guy seat. I have that cred now.
That's right, Chris Cotton not here. I hope he's okay.
Right behind you.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's in the kitchen. It's dark. You missed him.
Well, thank God you pointed that out before I really went crazy on that analysis about the black guy. Well, thank you. Oh, Chris Cotton's here.
Before you made an off-colored remark.
Chris, how are you? Ignore Gino. You're chilling. See, all right. You got to ghetto it up right.
Was the problem that Matt Reese just wasn't racist enough?
Yeah, Mattery said, look, if you want me to be racist, it's an extra $50.
And Gino said, I'll give you $50 to show up.
Yeah,
No, you know, Gino is he's being a professional. It's costing him money to get.
well, I can park my car anywhere when I sleep, so I just right outside the night before.
Is everything a joke with you?
Not everything, just the most.
Clearly.
Not my career, my relationship.
Also here, Ralph. What is your last name again? I'm
Sutton.
sorry. Ralph
S-U-T-T-O.
Sutton. And Ralph, give your history. You said you're not a comic.
Not a comic. I work in rock and roll for the most part. I host a nationally syndicated rock radio show, and I do the SDR show with Big J here for about a year. Our 1-year anniversary is coming up on Monday.
That sounds like fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Explain the show.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the SDR show.
Enough said. No, what is it?
We have porn stars, rock stars, drug dealers, and more come in. We've had girls squirting cups. We've had girls pee on our feet.
Wow.
We've talked to a girl to have threesomes
Wait,
with Jay and
let
his
me-
girl.
let me-
Same cup? Do you use the same cup for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a goyish.
It's a special chalice. It's a chalice.
Let me ask you this. Let me stop you there. The threesome thing with Jay. Now, you guys both have significant others, of course.
I do not.
Oh, you don't?
No.
I know Jay does, and he's got a great situation. She's a wonderful woman. Are you afraid? I mean, are you real? Have you really had these conversations with the woman in your life to where is she okay with that if she's not there and you're participating in this?
Oh yeah, we try to bring him. I try to bring him home to her afterwards,
Right.
if possible.
Now, do you feel the woman is a little scared to go home with you after? You know, I mean, she could be decomposing in a drum and within hours. It's true. I mean, do you feel any? Has it ever gotten awkward? And you say you make the call as a mature guy. Go, let's not. You're not comfortable. Let's not get into this.
We did. We had that girl. Well, one girl
Heather
came
Pink.
out. Yeah, Heather.
What
Pink.
was her name?
Heather Pink.
Heather Pink. Of course, it's Heather Pink.
We had a porn star come out with us, and we were gonna bring her home with me and Christine, my girlfriend, afterwards, and then she just got obliterated at the bar.
But while we were on air,
The one that was like asleep at the stand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it was like you thought you were gonna have to roll her up in a carpet and just finish
Yeah.
the deal.
So she's well. Gino, you have a lot in common. She's obliterated. You're overrated.
We're doing rhyming stuff now. That's fantastic, Sinbad.
Just call me Jay-Z, baby.
while we were on the air, Jay was texting pictures of Heather naked to his girl, and they were like giving each other the thumbs up. Like, okay, I like her. Okay, I like her. Okay, bring her out.
They have a very cool relationship.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I haven't been able to pull that off. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, this is great, blah blah blah." Thanks for the Bentley. But not working. I guess.
No, well, we're 0 for 2, I think, on planned threesomes out of that show.
Really?
Two
Yeah.
girls came back and then they leave. Yeah, they weirdly leave at the end
So
of
you're
it.
not.
Maybe they think it's all. Maybe they think it's part of the show to talk.
No, I
about,
think
but they're
Heather
not.
was in.
That is so condescending.
What? Maybe they think it's part of the show.
No, they don't.
Okay.
I'm starting to think maybe they think it's part of the show.
No.
Thank you.
Heather
Thank
was
you.
in. Heather
Yeah, that
was
girl
in.
was in, but she was so. Ralph saw this. I didn't see this necessarily, but apparently when we decided to put her in a cab and just send her home instead of trying to bring her back, apparently she had a snot bubble coming out of her nose that was like, you could see a reflection in. Apparently,
Right. Well, it's a cocaine bubble.
it's very possible.
Yeah, I don't want to
No.
speak out of line.
I think cocaine would have probably took her up
Yeah.
a notch. She was on her way down.
That's where you got to be careful, because in these first marriages that don't get a lot of stuff really, I don't know,
Out in the open.
yeah, going down the hill and saying, "Listen, this is where I did this," and memories come back, and you want to be, you want to be a great comic, but politics get into it, and personal relationships, and you get weirded out sometimes by fans.
You're saying there are certain triggers. I said triggers, Chris.
I know. What was that about? Calm down.
Triggers, please.
Yeah, just end.
Trigger, please.
Yeah, just say, say something else. Nothing that ends in igger, please.
I've got a bigger set of words I can use.
I think I saw some chiggers in the tree outside.
I'm telling you, what screwed you up that threesome? All those jiggers of whiskey we gave that girl.
Now I officially need a mic.
Go figure.
Chris Cotton is right in back of us.
Oh, there he is.
Chris, are you startled sometimes when you hear a white man like Gino, who clearly is racist?
I'm not white.
Do you not? Are you Sicilian?
I'm Sicilian.
Oh yeah, you're a black guy.
Thank you.
Are you Sicilian?
I'm half Sicilian, half Abruzzese.
So
Does that matter?
I thought you
It
were Irish.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Does it matter to anyone other than other Italians?
Exactly, and not it just like it matters to and I'll use the word Dagos that want to act like they're real Guinea. You're not Italian. You're just, shut up. Is anyone anything anymore? We're all just Americans with weird little.
No,
heritages.
people are things.
I know.
Of course. I mean, our
People have
parents-
races. People have a race, Gino.
Yes, but we're all Americans, and then we try and act like. Do you think if you went back to Africa, everyone would be like, "Welcome home"? No.
Yeah.
Until I start talking, then they would be like, "Hey, he's cool."
If I went back to Italy, would they be like, "Oh, there you are"?
That's
We've
because
been
no one
working-
likes you,
No,
Gino. That's just
nobody.
because you're not a likable person, not because
I'm
of
very-
your,
That's not what your mom said. Look, I need penetration. I knew you
That's the most childish
Say
joke.
that. We just met his mom a week ago.
I know, and I made a wife reference yesterday because I met his wife. She's a sweetie.
Lovely woman. Why are you
Lovely.
cock blocking and telling the world about his wife?
No, that doesn't matter. The whole Twitter world knows about my wife.
Yeah.
All 5 people.
All 17 of my followers are into it.
You
Now, how
lost
many
2.
followers do you have?
I actually checked the other. I have like 2,200. I'm thrilled with that. I'm not trying.
I don't like how you said
200?
hunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who the
You
fuck
don't
says
mean
hunch?
that.
Well, how are you going to use that?
I
to
don't
get-
use. I don't worry about Twitter.
That's the problem, is that you have to engage constantly.
Yeah,
Unless
and I
you're
don't.
someone super famous, you have to actually go out there and try and get your fans.
I don't pretend to try and get a ton of Twitter followers. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have millions, but I don't. So like, I rarely check. The
Well,
number.
millions is. I mean, now you're like.
Well, I'm saying, wouldn't you love to have millions of Twitter followers? But I don't.
I don't know. That's a weird thing.
He has like 300,000.
I don't have
Yeah.
a lot of. I don't
Oh, you have-
anywhere
No, you have
close
like
to that.
300,000.
I came into the game late. I think I'm 2 years late on.
And I
Twitter.
can honestly say half my Twitter followers are from back when you used to do the Nick in the old studio.
1,000 people?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. But no, Artie goes, hey, my buddy Gino's on the show. Why don't you follow him? You tweeted that. And I got like 1,000 followers.
You're
Jay-
welcome.
Jay did that for me the
cocksucker.
other day.
I've said that. You're right. I'm very ungrateful. You've never done, half my career.
And I'm just saying.
The good half.
I'm just saying.
The
I
fire
mean,
hall next
I-
week you had nothing to do with. That's all Gino.
I wish you the best, and I hope that whatever this is helps you.
This is fantastic.
I'm begging you though to have low expectations. Or
This was my reason to get out of bed today.
You're going to be
What-
at 2,300 followers by the end of the day, buddy.
What's usually
Got to
your-
jinx everything, fuckstick?
You're back to the chinks. How dare you?
I said jinx,
Oh,
not
I'm
jinx.
sorry. I hear one thing.
You're
I hear
just
one-
gooking around.
What do you He's got to take
Goofing.
it.
Did I see goofing?
You know, he's got to take it from a suspension to never working.
Yeah, and I had to put my slant on it.
Wait, I have to have
Won't
fake.
have a
I have to
happy
have
ending.
fake outrage. There's the door, pal, and there's the racism coat check room. Don't bother paying. Just get out.
You go to the abortion coat hanger room and you make a left.
Get that blazer with the sleeves rolled up and get the fuck out of here.
You leave Gino Spinks out of this.
Did you ever do a Michael Jackson, Michael J. Fox sort of 80s thing where you did stand up with the rolled up to the elbow type sport jacket, the thin tie?
Yeah, but he did it
No.
last week. That's the problem.
And I did Michael Jackson and Michael J. Fox jokes because I'm so topical.
Well, what were they? Do you remember any?
No.
Of course not. Because you were lying, but I teed you up. Because
I have a couple
felt
Michael
your-
J. Fox jokes, but they're no great.
If I could talk for 2 fucking seconds, as my mother used to say, Madonna, this Chino's a real gaccheroni. Don't shut up. Crowbarring and jokes got to broaden the car. That's kidnapping. That's a man act. I don't think he's got a license. How's that for high digs? Smokey and the Bandit. Anyway,
My hat came off, Dad. I sure hope your head was in there.
now take your hack off.
I don't know what's happening, but I
Actually-
walked into a Firebird. I like this. I love it. I like watching.
Well, the blacks love confrontation.
Listen, I'm all about it. I got my camera ready. World Star.
Now, are you waiting for the big white riot? There's been so many black riots. Are you waiting for us to make complete retards out of ourselves, Chris? Because
The big white riot.
yeah.
Well, we just need the cops to kill one white dude so we can tear a city apart.
Well, that's not going to happen. Let's move on.
The white riot doesn't scare any black person. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're not really scared of the white.
You
riot.
never went to a white riot concert? It's amazing. Very scary. If I was African American, I'd be very scary at some of the. Well, a lot of it stems from the music because it hasn't changed. Music, beats, rap, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Kids get moving, they dance. That's what they're into. And do you feel, Gino? Because I know you try to stay current. And you try to stay relevant. Do you feel that
Try your best.
I'm emphasizing try.
Right. I give it a shot.
Right, but do you
Gino's
feel,
drinking a Zima right
do
now.
you feel this trip was disappointing?
What trip?
To my fucking apartment!
No, I love coming to hang out here, buddy. It's a good time.
Right.
Get to talk baseball with Dan Filato, football with James Flippin,
Yeah.
Copperfield from Jay's hot girlfriend. Good
Come
time,
on
man.
now.
Whatever, dude.
That got weird quick.
Yeah, quickly. It's an adverb modifying how fast it got weird.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Do a little English.
Someone's picking up substitute teaching gigs in between his VFW hall gigs.
Actually, I'm picking up VFW gigs in between teaching.
Do a little English.
Managed to work some fire halls in between my teaching gig. Summer's coming. Really got to fill the calendar.
Realistically, Gino, your future. What do you think? I mean,
This is just more of this.
Is it bleak?
No complaints.
Is it bleak?
It's fantastic.
You and Bob Levy as buddy cops. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out first.
Here's the thing. Listen,
I'm all
me and you are cops. We're cops. You understand? And we don't play by the rules. We don't play by the rules. You understand?
You motherfuckers burnt down the whole city. God damn it.
Yeah. Let's burn this motherfucker down.
If you weren't white cops, I would have to kick you off the force.
Yeah. Well, listen. What I mean.
Think of it as running scared without all the running.
Or tap dancing.
Chris is making a good point, though. I mean,
He is?
Yeah, well, I happen to agree with a lot of what he's saying. When you figure that out and you really admit to yourself, okay, I am powerless, and you try desperately to get out of the game of humility and other things, what do you think you'll do?
I'm just going to keep doing this. I attract all the work I need. I have all the money I
You're
need.
missing the point of the question.
I'm missing the question.
Do you feel you'll have enough money to retire?
I don't feel I'll ever. What are you, Tara? Now, Tara, I'm never going to retire.
Who's Tara?
They'll never find her body. My ex.
Oh. You
That
still
was always
talk?
it. What are you going to retire? I'm never going to retire.
You
Once you want to hear the like people that don't like
No,
their
let's
job
go.
need to retire.
I don't. Let's go to break. I do want to hear. What? Tell me.
People that don't like their job need to retire. People that don't like their job, unfortunately, are dying a little bit every day going to a job they hate. The perfect example of the ultimate thing you want to do is Charles M. Schultz, writer of Snoopy, the Peanuts comic strip. He was writing.
We all know, yeah.
He was writing the comic strip. Well, actually, a lot of these kids these days.
Yeah,
they
but the
don't.
details,
Right.
they
He was writing the comic strip forever, and then he had a heart attack or a mini stroke, and he could still draw, and he was fine, right? So and then a couple years later, he had another one, and he couldn't draw anymore. And he always said, "It dies with me. I'm not gonna have my kid do this comic strip like everyone else." So,
Why not?
because it was because that was what it was his passion. He always knew he was gonna do it.
Fuck my kids.
When
Yeah,
he
'cause
was
he hated his kid. That's what I'm
But what
thinking.
if his kid, exactly, what if his kid, who he raised, he might be proud of him. What if his kid's able to take it and maybe make it even a more original idea?
great.
well, then let the kid
That's
do his
funny.
own fucking idea.
Dad, I got some really great ideas for Peanuts. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's a shame John Voight never said that to his daughter, but they don't. Okay, and that's what we have. And he's
Then we
like,
wouldn't have Filipino kids with mohawks.
Yeah, well,
right, you
because we
win
need
that.
them.
Thank God, John Voight.
At any rate, one day he said, "Look, I can't do this strip anymore." He's like, "My last comic strip will be May 1st, 2000, the year 2000." He's like,
It's just all squiggly. You just tried to do it.
The year
You just try with that
2000.
stroke arm.
It's 4 lines.
Charlie's black.
No, that's
Fell
not,
off.
that's
This
not what
is
happened, but
ridiculous.
that's fucking hysterical.
Just put a pencil in his mouth and just started running all over the paper.
It was a stick figure
His
with the
son
word
is-
Snoopy
It's
pointed.
peanuts, damn it. It's peanuts.
Put a stick in his mouth. Well, I don't know, Gino. I mean,
So, anyway,
as a friend, I don't think it looks good.
The strip, the strip aired on May 1st, and he died the night before it aired. He died. Charles M. Schultz died the night before the
Oh, I
strip.
thought you meant your friend.
Charles M. Schultz.
That's sad. Your friend died
No,
would have
it's
been kind of
beautiful.
funny.
It died the night before the strip was printed because he was so attached to his art. Once he
Dude,
stopped doing
I
it, his death.
smell a spike in subscriptions after that story.
So what the fuck was that story for again?
It's for Artie needing to ask a question
It's-
that he can
it's
just
Gino
berate the
saying
entire time through the
He's never
answer.
going to have to retire because you could do comedy until you have your second stroke.
Yeah.
He's planning on dying
How
before
many
his
strokes in
first
are you
big
right
gig.
now, Gino? Are you at least one stroke in?
Dude, I had a
Did
couple
you really
strokes.
have a stroke? I'm being serious because I care for you.
You had a stroke?
No.
Wow.
Hey, I'm conducting. Hey, Johnny Cochran, I'm asking the question.
I had a stroke of luck when you came into my life, Artie.
Yeah.
He said
what every
defensively.
broad says.
That's right.
Your dreamboat
First.
is
That's what they always say at first.
your dreamboat is docked until it quickly gets hit by a torpedo, sinks.
Isn't that where you're going? They always they love the ride at first, and then
Oh,
everything
and
they
then-
loved about it, and then they hate.
Bye.
And then
Take care.
Then they just sell out. Like somebody's like, "Did you see who she's dating now?" I'm like, "Why would I want to see who she's dating now?" It's just some.
you
young-
do though, but you
Who's
do.
dating Ludacris?
I do and I don't, but it's just like it
What
helps
hap-
you get over when you're like,
My
you're
ex-
dating someone that's a total fucking sellout. That
Is she?
oh God, please.
Oh no, well don't.
But my
bitter.
my ex is with a guy.
Maybe
who-
I am bitter. I don't care.
My ex is with a guy that it's good for her though. She wanted a guy she can go to bed with at 10 o'clock and
Yep.
wake up with.
But
in the morning.
you're being
As
very
Jim-
mature about it. I mean, I
As
would
Jim
still be
Florentine
mad.
once said, you ever hear him say, it's like they want a guy they can all hang out with their friends at Applebee's. And
They
talk about
do.
every
No,
fun-
but that's the thing.
Yep.
Some girls want that.
And
Or
good.
would you have a harder time if a guy you thought was clearly better looking than you, or someone that you thought was
Well,
not funny,
where's he going to find that?
or someone not funny?
Good luck. No, I assume he's
Let's
not.
say it's a comic that you just think is not funny, or a guy that you just thought was.
That would
If
be
she let me
hard.
for a
be
comic, it would
pissed.
be
I'm
fucking
saying.
super.
That
good.
would be hard because,
You don't go from comic,
especially if it's a good-looking.
I agree with
comic.
Chris. You
know
don't,
what I
not
mean?
you don't. They can.
That's
but that
happened
would
to me
bother you.
before.
comic to comic.
Good-looking comic.
Chick has left me for a better-looking
Now, that
comedian. Well,
would drive
again,
me
which is
nuts.
not hard.
Have you ever
to
hooked
find.
up? Have you ever hooked up with a girl who's hooked up with a comic before you?
Yes.
I would think that's
Yes.
very common.
Is that tough?
Yes, that's happened.
Do you find that tough?
Well, listen, how could I blame her for going with Seinfeld? How can I?
You fucked Elaine Boozler. It's amazing.
So I'm
Wendy
like,
Lehman. Wendy Lehman. No, it is very, very hard when, especially if it's a comic. I'm dating Daniel Tosh, and Daniel understands me, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Oh, see, Christine hooked up with a failure.
Gallagher.
That's-
So yeah, he's not really
Black
around at
Gallagher?
all. But the few times I had to like see him, it does.
Who's
It is,
the
it is
failure?
like, huh?
Who is he?
Yeah, no one's gonna.
You
know.
know.
No one will even know who it
You
is.
don't
yeah.
have to.
I
Say,
need
well,
to
he's
know.
a failure.
Would I know? Am I
Yeah,
working
you
with him
might-
this
you might.
weekend?
Well, you probably see him. You probably see him at the
You're
failure
open,
meeting.
you're opening for him.
I was thinking the same thing.
He sees him
three
at
of us said the
Oh,
same
He sees him
Jesus
at
Christ, I
FA.
was so bad.
Failure Anonymous.
Hey, I'm giving him a ride to the fire hall this week. I can tell him you said hi, Christy.
He
Oh,
substitutes
fuck.
teachers with you on the weekends.
I'm the only one who my wife is cool with like too much shit.
Whatever.
Not a lot of extremely nasty shit, but she's cool with damn near everything.
She's fucking somebody else.
I think she is. And
Done,
I've already fucking laid on that.
Have you
limit.
yelled and accused her of that when you
Nah,
got angry?
nah.
I'm dating Nate
Don't do that.
Berman rants. What the fuck is his name?
Me and my homies were just talking the other day. Me and my other two married young stupid motherfuckers friends. We was talking about how their wives don't do shit. I was looking at them like, what? She doesn't do what?
What do you mean?
Like, how the fuck?
What do you
like,
mean not do shit
like-
living or around the house?
Like in the sense of like if they want to do like say if they want to do some nasty shit like some off the
anal
wall
sex
shit
or something?
oh,
yeah.
you're talking about sexual.
Even I'm talking about even regular stuff. Like their wives, if they catch them looking at porn, they look at them really dirty. And my wife's like, I'm like, what? How the fuck? What do you mean? What else am I supposed to do? What else? Like this is a conversation that most married dudes they get in trouble for shit like
you know
watching
what al-
porn.
You know what? Also, that is weird. I've seen that
fucking
happen before
weird.
too. You know, it is a thing you need too. I have a buddy of mine who I will take on the road with me sometimes, and I see him go through it a little bit because he's married.
Hard.
No, but it's not just that. But he's married. When he goes on the road, like he'll try to do those things. Like you need to, if you're separate like that a lot, you need a chick who's willing to do some like fun, weird shit
Freaky,
for
yeah.
you. So he's got the thing where it's like he'll be like, "Hey, send me a picture of your titties or something." She's like, "Oh, come on, like I'm busy right now." But I'm like, "No,
you send
man,
me titties."
you can't do that. You need a chick who will just send you a picture of her gash without you asking.
Yeah.
And be like, "Ooh."
Yeah,
You got to yell at her like, "Don't do that. I'm with people."
My mom
my
had
wife,
my
we
phone.
You have to talk to her like the Gambinos had to talk to the Westies. They're like, I want you to collect money from this guy. He owed $80. You chopped his hand off. I mean, you got to calm certain people down. Certain people get out of control. They take it to the next level.
No, yeah, but
That's
I mean,
a real
but you
conversation
should
me and
still-
my wife had.
But you should still have like exactly. If you're going to be on the road, it's like, hey, look.
I
If you
told-
want me not to be, it's like, especially when you go on the road. If you have a chick at home who's being frigid,
Right.
I mean, like, how do you? You can almost justify cheating.
Yeah, I know. It's difficult. Well, it's,
You sound like a quote. That's
It's also why I never got married. I'm 45 and never been married. 'cause I'm not happy with
Gino's
that.
just staring at Christine, wondering about all the filthy things she does.
He wants to look at your phone right now and see what kind of picture she's
Oh, dude! If anybody grabs my phone and it's unlocked, I stand over their shoulder. I'm like, what's up? What are you gonna do? You know anything? I'll show you that one. Or by the way, how about this?
It's always when you
It's
swipe the wrong. You
Oh,
swipe
it's the
one-
worst. The
one too
swiping.
many
Oh,
pictures.
Dude, I hang out with my niece and nephew a lot. They're 10, they're 11 and 13. And
Oh, and they have so many dick pics in their phones.
of their teachers mostly.
Now, what about,
I'm done.
aside from, but let's examine that, seriously. Aside from the fact that, the repercussions of, how much do they know about sex? What have they tried? And if they've tried it, how into it are they? How, is it 5 times a day we're doing this, or what's going on?
Right.
Or, do you have a talk where you go, be honest with me. Have you tried anything, or is it just a curiosity? And if you haven't, as a father, I would probably hope you would wait a while. Like, how do you approach
Because
that?
your daughter is close to having sex soon, I would imagine.
Scary, super
How old is
scary. She's 12.
That's close.
You know,
Yeah, that's close.
forgot your
it's
daughter.
12, and
Hopefully
she has,
it's
and
close
she,
and
and
not
she has,
already.
She has, against my better judgment, an iPhone 6 that she shouldn't have.
She
So,
doesn't need a higher phone. You need a lower phone. A
so
lower
that's,
grade
that's,
phone.
that's internet
Just make sure
access.
Snapchat's not on there because that's going to lead to a lot of problems.
It's internet access. It's definitely scary. You know, and then
Internet access.
Yesterday I went with her to Staples. She had to print out something for a report she had to do.
Staples.
I know. What a whore bag.
That's where all the sluts go.
But she went like she's printing out like a poster of some shirtless young teen singer boy.
For
that
what?
she's gonna put on
To do what with it?
She's gonna put in her binder.
Did your ex-wife have like a talk already with her about
Her
sex, or you
binder?
don't even know?
I don't know. I know my daughter.
Trapper keeper.
But that's her responsibility.
It is her responsibility, and there is weird situation. I mean, my daughter. This year, in the same week, she got her period and her braces.
Jesus
So
Christ.
that's a
I
tough-
can't handle this. All this information is overwhelming me. I can't.
Tough week, man. It's a tough week.
Chris, you didn't have kids, do you?
No, I'm fucking terrified to have kids.
Wow, black dude, no kids, beating
I'm
the odds, buddy.
terrified.
Beating the
Yeah,
odds.
really? Well, how'd that happen?
Can I steal another one of these, Artie?
Dude, like I literally was like, me and my wife made a plan. We're not fucking having any kids till we feel like it. Like we can control our dick. Well, I control
Your
my
wife
dick.
has
Wait a
like a
minute,
really
our dick?
has
Our
a,
dick, I mean,
that says
shit.
a lot
your wife
right
has
there.
a legitimate gig, right? Like
That
she's
was.
a doctor.
My
or
wife's a
teacher.
nurse.
A nurse. God bless her. Yeah. Well, there you
she's-
go,
she's a
nurse.
nurse.
She's not
No,
gonna
look-
get pregnant. She's got access.
Listen, you got to be careful because if there's a lot there that they're committed to, and their kid, pregnancy, this, you got them a ring, there's something of, there's emotional attachments, blah blah blah. So be careful. I mean, are
you giving me advice as I get back into the dating world?
Look at me. If there's anyone to give life advice, is it not me?
It ain't me.
Just
It
do
ain't
the
this guy.
opposite.
Why are y'all helping Gino out so much? What happened before I got here?
He had a stroke. You didn't hear that? He had
Gino,
a
when did you
stroke.
have your stroke?
I'm probably on the ride home if God's loving.
Is it the fact that you've been bombing? When I walked in, you were bombing for 4 minutes straight.
I don't
Now,
even know.
4 minutes. He's been bombing since the first Bush administration.
I walked in, there was a lot of bombing going on. Then I see they started ripping into Gino.
I don't think there's any bombing going on here.
We need the air on. Put the air. That
this one's
fucking
out.
goddamn motherfucker.
I'm going to ask a weird question. I'm totally focused on those cookies right now. Is there any
Okay.
shot I can get one?
Of course
You got to know a guy, dude.
Ralph, it's not cheat day.
Look at that. It just, I stopped
Cheat
listening
day
to
is
the
like-
conversation.
That's got to be the gayest thing Jay Oakers has ever said.
It's not
Cheat
cheat
day.
day.
No, it's tomorrow's cheat day. I'm gonna suck some cock. That's the gayest thing I've ever said.
That's a pretty damn good cookie. I got to be honest with you.
No, not bad. You can get good food around here. Talk amongst yourselves while I get a gluten-free cigarette.
Gluten-free. So you're single now?
Yeah, I've been single quite some time.
Yeah, Gino hung in there though, man. You had I used to bust your balls. Your screensaver on your phone was your chick for well beyond you guys being together.
Yeah, well, that's because there was a year.
That's tough.
But there was a year of a jagged dismount where we were still hooking up off and on and all that weird
A
stuff.
jagged dismount.
Yeah, I thought that was a
That's
fun
your
little
new
word.
album.
Yeah, man, that's not. You're right. That's not a bad.
Why did y'all
title.
break up, Gino? Why we?
Because
why we
she got
asking
tired
you?
of this shit. That's all.
What
you know?
shit?
Just this life.
Every night a new VFW haul.
Coming home smelling like blue cheese and beer.
Correcting her
Oh, yeah.
English day
Were
and
you
night.
with Bob Levy this weekend?
No.
Coming home.
Are you the type of guy that will bounce material off of your chick?
No,
Will you
because when
bounce
we,
her head off a wall?
Oh, exactly. When we first started, she was like, "I can help him." You know, one of those. I'm kind of funny. Stop it.
you're not funny.
Just stop it. So then you,
Well,
you
that's
go.
very sexist.
But then you go along with them. You're like, "No, okay." And then when you tell them a joke and they're like, "I don't like it." All right, well, I
no,
didn't.
that just means she probably has hearing.
Yeah, it's
Or a sense of humor.
like I don't
She
give
has
a
the
fuck.
gift of hearing.
Bitch, don't be using your ears in this house.
I shouldn't have. I know I shouldn't have broken up with that mute chick with
What
big
a-
tits.
What doesn't you like about jokes? Like, do you find? I have found I've made several jokes that I enjoyed, but looking back, they're not the best jokes.
In the end, she just didn't like the person telling the joke. I can honestly
I'd like
say
to
that.
try finishing my statement.
Okay, but I was just cutting to the chase.
Joe Matarese never
God
did this.
grant me the serenity. All right.
Look at you praying.
No, I think that
Now you just need
what
the
I
love.
find is he can't shut up. He physically can't.
He's a
do it.
machine.
Yeah.
It's part of his charm, though.
Welcome to Machine.
This is before whiskey.
Yeah.
So listen.
Oh, whiskey.
Tonight, buddy.
I think a lot of women don't like when you bring up the fact that they might move their bowels. You know, they don't like any reference to that.
Right.
Some women do. And I made a joke. One of my girlfriends, she was a big dog lover, and she said, "I want to get a dog for the apartment." And I said, honey, I get grossed out when you shit in my apartment. And not the best joke, but I used it on stage. It's
pretty good.
And she wouldn't talk to me for 2 weeks. Like, you made a reference that I shit. I'm like, well, you're a human being. It'd be odd if you didn't. I don't want to see you doing it, but I'd like you to evacuate. You're toxic. When I eventually chop you up and eat you, I don't want toxic meat. I think that's what you're running into. I think, Gino, you don't have a meter that tells you, look, I shouldn't do this because it's not appropriate. Your thoughts?
Yeah, but I don't do any poop jokes.
But
I do a lot of whore and
you don't do any
abortion.
poop jokes.
But also,
I do a lot of
also
domestic
don't know.
violence jokes.
I also don't know.
You don't do any poop
You
jokes.
kind of have to find.
Shit.
One thing about my ex and Christine both, I gotta say, is none of them were ever like too. You can't say that.
Yeah, if you have to curtail
like,
your
you
act
can't-
because you
yeah.
might offend the girl you're dating, that's probably someone you shouldn't be
I
dating.
can't. I think any girl I'm with, and I think Christine knows for sure. Like anything that happens, like it could come up. It could come up.
Yeah, when we had,
I mean, I wouldn't say anything that would be disparaging necessarily to us, but I wouldn't say anything that would make people come up and be like, "Hey, dude, that's not like a healthy thing." I wouldn't. But as far as like just like funny admissions or like confessions, I don't know.
We host
you kind of own everything you do.
We
you know
host
what I
a
mean?
rock cruise together, him and I, and called Shiprocked, and on one called Motorboat, which is Motorhead on a boat. And it's
Makes
pretty
sense.
crazy.
Clever, yo.
And some dude admitted to me that he fucked his co-host of his radio show. And the next day, we talked about it on the podcast. She was in the room with him, and now they broke up as a radio team because I mentioned it. But my feeling is, don't tell somebody who goes on stage or talks for a living something you don't want repeated, or you're in the wrong relationship.
Yeah.
Literally, me and my wife had a talk where we was like, it's things I can't say that I just like realize like that's it, like we can't say. But my wife, she's worse than me. If we start talking sex, you saw how when we started talking sex about it, I kind of was like, I don't. She'll go into detail. She doesn't give a fuck. She's real like.
Well, what kind of detail?
Well,
sir, you said it.
Weird. Like she's fucking. I don't know. She'll talk about anything. She loves talking about my dick. I don't know. She's weird like that. She likes talking about.
You got a good
How does
dick.
it
With you or with
I like
others?
dick.
You got a good dick.
You can't talk about your dick in front of Jay. Jay wants to see your dick now.
But did you
No,
talk?
my dick isn't. My dick. First of all, I'm a girl, not a shower, so I can't just go flash a dick out and impress anybody. I gotta go hard
Man,
dick out,
it
which is
would-
very
it would
uncomfortable.
take a real heavy amount of money for me to pull my dick out flaccid in front of anyone.
I have the
Fucking
smallest flaccid penis. I love it.
Medium size, medium dick, very impressive. I fucking pull that out. I'm like, I'm proud of that. But hard dick is what I shine at. That's what I do.
He said
hard
shine.
dick is where I shine.
Oh yeah, half heavy dick is the best.
Half
Yeah.
heavy dick because it's like
Yeah.
it's more. Yeah, bitch, it gets better. You know what I mean? It's that concept of fucking it getting better.
If I jerk off in the bathroom, I like to run out of the bathroom and then show everyone. Afterwards, when it's on its way back down, I got about a 45-second window where I can run through the apartment and be like, sorry, everyone, I'm just hanging dong over here.
Now, what about beating? Has anyone here ever been sexually abused or beaten by a family member, uncle, aunt, parent?
Gino, come on,
Clergyman?
No.
Nothing, Gino?
I got hit growing up, but not abused.
You bullshit about everything else. You're not going to go for this to try to get a book?
A book?
Where did that question come from?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm trying to, cover everything. I mean, because we're comics. We're fucked up.
Sexually
ourselves.
abused? No. Anyone? Anyone?
No.
No.
Well,
Jay.
Never sexually abused. But I was very sexually interested, very, very young, man.
well, how young?
Man, I can't remember. I remember being really young and going underwater with goggles and trying to see pubes coming out of sides of underwear and shit. Really caring about that
Girls,
stuff.
dudes, either.
Girls.
How old are we talking here?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably like 9, 10.
I don't think that's super
That's
early.
not super early in this day and age.
I don't think that's super
Don't say
early.
that with my 12-year-old daughter who's probably combing the streets for dick as we speak.
I gotta say that.
Not combing the streets.
First of all, she's
Probably
coming.
picking the streets
She's
at
combing.
least.
She's combing some back alleys for dicks. Let's be honest. She's not gone to the streets.
You are a motherfucker.
Combs have a lot of teeth, dude. You want to go?
It
pick
is
It's,
weird, Jay, to know
it-
that within 3 years, there's no doubt your daughter's going to be having
Jesus
sex.
Christ,
I don't know
Ralph.
about
I don't
that.
I think so.
I don't know about that.
16?
No, I think if you rate, you know what's weird with chicks, like dudes, we like try to get it as soon as we feel like we want to get it. It's like, yeah, I gotta get it now. Women are different, man. Like girls, they'll make a decision like I'm not gonna do it till I'm 20, and they won't.
It depends where. It depends though where you're coming from. Here's the thing, and me and my buddy Dave have talked about Dave Smith.
How many
on
black
this a lot.
guys you know? It matters.
But no, I think this is a lot of it too. The mainstreaming of porn
Yeah.
has made it so now when I was a kid, now I knew what facial cum shots were when I was 11, 12 years old. I
It's
watched porn.
self-explanatory.
From an uncle.
I watched porn. I watched a bunch of porn. Girls didn't. So a girl taking a load on the face, like until I was probably in my 20s, I didn't have girls that were like okay with that idea even. And now I think it's like standard.
Well, I know. It's always fascinating to me when a girl apologizes about not wanting to do a sexual act. They think I'm going to not understand that or be upset. Like, listen, I'm so sorry. I just don't like to suck a penis. It grosses me out. I hope you understand that. I'm like,
Do they say
you
penis?
hope I understand. I understand better than anybody on the planet. I'm a heterosexual man. I don't get why anyone would. I mean, I understand you don't want to put a cock in your mouth. I get it.
I bet it's all salty and gross.
I can't understand it. No, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. It's a dick. It's a piece of skin. If you can lick your arm, you can
Well,
suck
dude,
a dick.
calm down. It sounds like you're contemplating.
But you're coming from a place also where
come
it was,
in there,
it was
you can suck
notorious.
a dick. It's all
It was
right.
notorious for a long time, and I know this has changed. But the black guys didn't eat pussy.
But that's again a
That's
big lie.
bullshit.
We were huge pussy eaters. Like black
Now.
chicks suck great dick, and fucking black dudes eat pussy.
I think white guys set out that rumor just so that they could
Oh,
go
yeah,
with
it was
girls.
hate.
Yeah, first of
It
all,
was
did you ever
hate.
taste some of those so-called black drinks, like a slow gin fizz dipped in cinnamon and sugar with firewater tequila? I'd rather suck a dick.
I'll have a double diabetes, please.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean.
I
It's
mean,
like-
there's one point like you listen to the shit that they used to eat back at the fucking chili, all that goofy shit. You think pussy is where they draw the line? Like, no, I can't eat that.
Pickled pig's feet. But
Yeah.
But I don't know what was it.
Pig ears
No,
and shit.
but what eating.
Pretty
And
good.
then listen, I'm Italian. The Italians have the same exact thing. We're the same sort of values in a way. That street thing, that homophobic thing, and that's what it is. It's homophobic. Suck a hole, suck a pole. People, the old school Italians used to think if you ate pussy, you would suck cock. That's what they said. And
Really?
No,
wow.
that was the whole. There's
wait.
a whole episode of The Sopranos about it.
is that the
fucked
term,
up.
suck a hole, suck a pole?
Yeah.
I never
Maybe
heard
it's
of
Suck
my
a hole,
family.
suck a pole.
My family is
And
predominantly
you
men.
fucking just said, hey, it's just a piece of skin. I'm
No,
like,
I mean
"Oh,
if you generalize it, I mean
Potato,
break it down.
potato. Chris Cotton sucks
cooking.
dick.
Jesus
fucking
Christ,
first.
what happened here?
He wants
To each his own. It's a piece of skin attached to a guy, and cum comes out of
This
it.
show took a hard turn. That's
It's like licking an arm with balls at the elbow.
It's the attached to a guy part that I have the problem
But
with.
it sounded, if we played that back, like you are justifying.
I'm saying it from
You're
point of
setting
view.
us up for, like, guess what, guys?
No, I'm saying
Jack says you got a great big cock.
any woman like with that goofy shit. I don't want to do like put the dick in your mouth. Like relax. Like what do you think? You're special? Like,
Oh,
put
you're,
the dick in your mouth.
you're
Like,
regular Billy D. Williams.
hey, I'm smooth, man. That's why I like. But, I'm serious. Like fucking relax.
If a girl wants you to go down on her, but she won't suck your dick, that I have a problem with. But
I'm saying in general,
I don't
like
care about
just
that.
drawing these weird non-licking shit rules or sucking shit rules.
Well, do you
is
like
really
eating
weird.
pussy?
I eat the ass. I eat the pussy. I eat whatever's around.
eat the
Get
ass.
the fuck
I'm a-
out of here!
No.
I
eat
know.
the
Oh my
ass.
God,
I'm a-
really?
I'm not better
I've
than
only
the
done it
pussy.
once. I can't work my way to
Oh
the
my
end.
God, it's
No,
one
you
of
don't
my
work your way to the
favorite
ass. Start off on the ass.
It
and tell
depends
me
on
what the
whose
fuck-
ass.
It's
we're
got to be
talking
fresh out of the shower.
Out the
for me.
shower
I'm
ass.
sorry.
Yeah, of course. That's the
I
ass
have
you
no
want.
problem
I'll
with
just
that.
eat ass.
Look,
yeah.
is
The
it,
ass eating is great.
is it Kate Upton's ass, or is it,
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
my
once you're
ass.
staring at an ass, the face could look like anything. It's
Well, I'm not
gotta
gonna lick hooker ass. But I'm not gonna lick hooker pussy. either.
Again.
I'm not looking.
Not again. You learned that lesson once.
I haven't been able to taste in 4 years.
I got blown by a black hooker once who had an Erykah Badu head wrap on.
That sounds good.
Getting hit in the chin with a head wrap.
So
Oh, my
specific.
God.
That sounds like a fun day.
Specific. I need a rim shot.
Did you call Tyrone? Thank you very much.
Call him.
Dude,
But, I mean, listen, we.
I had a black hooker jump in my car one time in North Philly when I was delivering auto
Yeah, she
parts.
just
and
jumped in
She jumped.
unsolicited.
Swear to God.
Yeah. What are
On
you
my
doing?
life.
What did
Jumped
she
in.
do?
She wouldn't get out of my car. She asked me as when I had my first cell phone ever.
It sounds like after a while it turned into you wouldn't get out of her car.
Sir, please get out of my car. I'm not a hooker.
So what
All right.
Okay.
She jumped in. I was like, get out of my car. I go, what the hell are you doing? She grabbed my phone. She goes, let me call my mama. I said, no, get out of my car. She goes, give me $2 and I'll get out. And I did.
$2?
Dude,
Jesus, how the fuck did that happen?
I would have
Philly.
fucking.
She didn't touch your dick or
Over by
nothing?
Broad and Dime.
That's-
Dude, it was she literally. I was at a red light and she jumped in the.
That's what they do, and by they I mean. Listen, $2 is the greatest bargain of all fucking time.
She would have touched something for $2.
Can you imagine if a cop saw that moment, you handing her money, even though it's $2, as she's getting out of the car?
One time in Camden, I was at a red light, and a girl walked up to my car, and a cop was behind, and he went on the loudspeaker and said, "Ma'am, step away from the car." And she goes, "This my cousin." It's my cousin. And the cop was like, "Step away from the car," and she stepped back, and then the cop goes. He goes, "Drive away, sir." And then I drove, and I was like, "Whew."
That is hilarious.
You made you had the money out already? Like,
I was like, "Whoa." No, I got street walking hooker one time ever. And that was the Erykah Badu head wrap. There was another comic there, but I don't want to throw him under the bus. He's become quite famous.
JB Smooth.
That
When I was
comic's
17,
name,
I used to-
Louis C.K.
I would go to the meatpacking district. That's where they used to have a lot of hookers when I was a kid.
Is this code for something else, or were you actually on the west side of New York?
Yeah, no, it actually was. And we would roll down when we first started driving, we'd roll down our window and ask ridiculous questions like, "How much to blow all of us?" and laugh and drive away. And one girl came up and put her hand down my pants from the window. Yeah. And as we drove away, I realized she stole my wallet.
What kind of pants were you wearing?
Oh,
yeah, how can you?
I know. Here's what you realize.
Leather pants.
You realize he stole your wallet.
Yeah, he stole my wallet. But the funny thing is that there was literally $1 in my wallet and nothing else. Not a license, nothing else. She stole $1 from me. Or
That's
he stole
sad.
$1 from me.
Well, a nice wallet,
and that
though.
$4 wallet.
And a $4 wallet. The Velcro wallet.
You would have beat me to that.
Listen, it's a very difficult thing to negotiate when you first go for that street hooker shit. Is it a dude? Is it a chick? Is it someone's gonna rip you off, kill you, sell you meth that's bad? You know.
That's like a hard jump.
You're getting into very personal hooker issues now.
Not even about
Are they going to
selling
give you
meth. It's
Are they
meth
going to give you
that's
bad meth?
You find out 2 weeks later she's really not a dentist.
Gino, you strike me as you've never had a hooker, have you ever?
I've gone to massage parlors.
Oh, shut up.
Never.
Shut up! I've never gotten a hooker like
I've-
old
so-
school off the street.
I've had only one off the street, but
No, because you're so fucking
I've had a handful.
hot.
No, I go to massage parlors. That's easy. I feel safer there.
You
know,
fuck them there ever?
Yes.
There's been in Philly, there was a couple great ones. where you
Arch
fuck 'em.
Street. Oh, my God.
15th and Calla Hill.
Yeah, that was a great one called the Vet.
I've gotten a handful of the come to your hotel room though. The escort
No, I've never
ones.
done that, but I'd like to. I never thought to do
It's
that.
such. It's.
I always would be
I
scared.
assume in the realm of addiction, which I do definitely have addiction issues. Like, it's very like that. The adrenaline while you're waiting for them to come,
Sure.
and you look and you're through it. And it's a whole thing. And then when it's over, you're never like money well spent. It's always like I should have just jerked off.
Well, listen,
Even if they're hot.
I know you're using it just as sort of like an analogy, but it's also a very real, literal thing where if you're addicted, it's besides sex, they will bring you dope, they'll bring you drugs too. It's a one-stop shopping thing. Like,
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, I've never. Gone that far.
I think me and Jay suffer from the same addiction.
But
It's pure fuck.
I never fucked anything, but I've fucking got.
Never fucked anything?
No. I've never fucked.
Except for me.
Any hookers.
This podcast.
Any
But-
hookers.
You
No,
fucked
I've
this
never fucked any
podcast
hookers.
beyond
No.
belief.
But have you fucked? But that same addiction is what leads itself to go. I've also brought back chicks who were hideous looking.
I fucked hideous chicks, but I've never
Just to
fucked.
fuck.
Yeah. I've never. I'm more of a like the dick suck. Well, he asked earlier. Does anybody? To be honest with you, I was fucking a little molested. I got my dick sucked by some older chick when I was a young lad.
That's
How
not
old?
molested. That's
I was,
just great story.
Yeah, exactly.
8. I was 8, and she was like 11.
That's
not
not
molested.
bad.
Stop
Hey,
it.
can we just,
Did you
really just
it
go
didn't
from
help me. It
molested-
didn't
No,
help me.
I want you.
That's
I want
called
you to-
childhood
I
dream.
want you to
That's
leave.
not
I want you to
molested.
leave the apartment.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was.
Jesus,
did
I
you
mean
really?
that's the truth.
You were
You're a
8. You were
girl.
I was 8. I didn't know shit.
Yeah,
She
but
was-
then say that. Say when I was 8, an 11-year-old blew me. Don't be like, well, I was
I
molested
didn't
by an
coerce
older
this to
girl.
happen.
I had a really hard time. When I was 17, I was fucking all these hot 23-year-olds.
Delicious.
Okay,
And it really
are you
made me
okay?
feel bad
It's a
about
Are you
different-
okay?
Jay, can
I'm
you fucking
47.
attest to the mental?
No.
I'm 47 and I'm fucking a hot 63.
It wasn't. I mean, at the time.
Did you not like it?
You know what? If
Oh,
she
I
was-
loved it.
if she
The
was
thing, it happened a lot. I
35
loved it, but then as I got older, I realized.
But she's
it
11.
Made me
She
fucking a little
wasn't
crazy.
35. That would be weird.
Like I
She's
have so
11,
many
you
shady
were
stories
8.
I just can't
That's
share
not,
because
that's not a sad story. The sad story is whatever happened to that 11-year-old to make her suck your dick.
I had a big dick. She had nothing to do.
Right now,
Peter
she's
Connect
telling that
Forward.
story somewhere. I was molested by
She's
a
the one
younger
that's
man.
selling Artie bad meth. That's the thing.
No, that chick is fucking probably beheading somebody in Afghanistan right now.
ISIS.
She joined us.
From giving head to beheading. My story with Chris Cotton.
Is she the one who told you you're a grower, not a shower?
No, I found that out. I found that over the time.
I hate that line.
That's
What my girlfriend says to make me feel better about my dick.
Yeah.
You're a grower, not a shower.
Well, nobody's ever seen it fucking soft until my wife. Like, I literally, my dick can be hard just hanging at the bar as long as it needs to be because I don't want them to touch it when it's fucking soft.
I won't take showers with my chick anymore because I caught her staring a little too hard at my little fucking button dick in the shower. I'm like, no more.
Button dick sounds adorable, though.
I won't take
It's
showers.
adorable.
It makes a tiny thing even cuter.
Oh, it's a button. Cute as a button dick. What?
You won't take a shower with a chick?
I won't take showers.
In general? It makes my dick too small.
You know, I'll tell you what I did do, and this is the first time I've done this in a while because I saw, I was on the road in Detroit this weekend, and it was like 5 in the morning out of my classic insomnia, and I'm trying to be so good so I don't go to the dope man, and I got numbers in Detroit too. I showed a lot of fucking willpower, and I just sat there trying not to, call anybody or go get high. And I was watching The Big Lebowski was on, and it's the scene where he's in the tub smoking the joint, and it just looks so good. I said I'm going to run a tub for the first time since I was 11. I'm going to run a tub, and I got into the tub. And I filled it too high.
Water
My
displacement?
pants and wallet I just got soaked because I went in just like a geyser and ran over. But I sat in that fucking tub, man, for 2 hours until I had to go get the plane. And it was just, I said I haven't been this happy in a long time.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah, and then I jerked off and I fucking I had to boil the tub before I took a shower because it looked like egg drop soup. Oh my God! But that was just so much.
Not getting Chinese today.
Well, I'll tell you what's funny about that is recently I remember bragging to Christine because I was on the road and I was like, "Well, this place has a tub, like this huge tub." I said, "I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit Netflix up on a chair and I'm going to watch a movie while I sit in the tub." And then I got in the tub, and the tub, 2 of the walls were fucking mirrors. I just saw myself, a fat seal in a tub, just sitting there with my dumb little dickhead breaching the water. And I go, I was in there for 8 minutes, and I was like, I hate this.
This is not
I
for
hate the
you.
way I look.
Let me tell you something. I'll go you one better. Do you ever have this in a hotel? Sometimes, like, the toilet you sit on is right in front of the door.
Yes.
And when you close the door, there's a mirror.
Yeah.
So, like, it's the only word for it is startling. Like, you shut the door to, like, try to grab something, like the newspaper or something that you brought him, and you're a foot from a mirror and you're watching yourself shit.
Yes.
I haven't
Recently I've
showered.
had
I
that.
got bedhead. I look like... And it's me shitting. I'm looking at myself shitting, and I if I had a gun, I would have blown my head off.
Oh, guts on your lap.
Yeah.
Everything's mushed up. Your dick's tucked between your legs. You don't see a dick at all. Just see a fucking fat leg
Wild
smushed
Bill
together.
from Silence of
All
the
right, listen,
Lambs.
you're filling in too many
I'd fuck
blanks.
me.
Black
This is me. No, I've had that mirror in front
Jay's
of me.
filling in all the blanks for me.
It was awful. Yeah, that's an awful one too. I'll try to shit with the door open if that's the case. That's why I like being in hotels by myself.
And I just imagine passing out and some poor Mexican maid finding me. Chumami happy. Chumami happy.
Why does she have to be Mexican?
Because that's what they are.
Okay, I would have just said mate. It's a foregone
Is it
conclusion.
racist that, like, I literally could shit and come and leave it on a lampshade, and if a woman's Mexican, I don't care. But if she speaks English, I get embarrassed.
Well-
Is that racist?
If it was some poor just Irish chick.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Yeah,
When
we're
we
out of
come back,
cookies.
we have Rod from Bayside. Is that what we're going to do, Danny?
And Danny Wetzel first. And then
Oh, we got the great Danny Wetzel is going to talk about Aaron Hernandez. Danny's a great writer for Yahoo Sports. I hung out with him in Detroit at my gig. He came to the gig, and I took him. He took me to dinner.
Nice.
Very nice guy. That rarely happens.
What'd you have for dinner?
And
I'm gonna go out for a slice after this.
who are you,
buddy?
Anthony Bourdain? I don't know. I had a burger. Calm down. He covered the Aaron Hernandez trial. He was in.
Wow.
He was in the courtroom, and I tried to give some of the details I know. He knows it. It's the most fascinating, fucked up, depressing story you'll ever hear. And Dan has great opinions about other sports. Brilliant writer for Yahoo. And his next assignment, he's going out to Mayweather and Pacquiao. Wow. Exciting gig, and he's a Boston guy. His wife's based in Detroit, so that's where he lives. And he was in the courtroom for Aaron Hernandez, and the emotion and the poor mothers of Hernandez and the guy kill is so poignant. But Wetzel's going to fill us in better than I did, hopefully, yesterday about it. And we'll also get it Rod from Bayside on the phone with some great prank calls. So those two things will be a good way to wrap this up. It's going to be a good show. I want to thank you all for coming in, but you're going to stay here, right?
Yeah,
to hang and have
absolutely.
fun, and we got gluten-free shit coming. Take care, brush your hair till a few minutes from now. Wetzel,
What's up, Artie?
what's going on, man? I'm still
I'm bad.
telling
How's
everybody
your phone?
how much fun we had the other night. I appreciate your boy buying dinner, and I tried to reiterate the details you gave me on the show about this crazy Hernandez story. I didn't do it justice, so we'll get into that, maybe a couple other things, all right? So, Higgins!
Football questions when you're done, buddy?
A lot of people here. Are we rolling? Welcome back to the most unsuccessful podcast in the history of broadcasting. We've run the numbers, and it's true. But listen, that might change. It may not. But 100 years from now, it's not going to matter. I am here with my friends. I consider them family. And I'm going to lay down the rules because there's a lot of people here. I'll do it Cool Hand Luke style. You will receive a pen. Do not lose your pen. Anyone loses their pen spends a night in the box. You will receive eggs. Anyone loses their eggs spends a night in the box. All right. Enough of those references. Dan Wetzel's on the phone. Dan Wetzel is one of my favorite guests I've had. I was supposed to say dirty word. DirecTV. DirecTV show. Dan was a big guest. He's a Detroit-based writer for YahooSports.com. Covers a lot of great stuff. He's about to go to the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. I'll get into that. But he covered the Aaron Hernandez trial, which, I watched the verdict and the sentencing. So fascinating and sad. But Dan was in the courtroom, and Dan came to my gig in Detroit over this past weekend, and we had dinner afterwards. And he gave me details that I don't think even a pretty hardcore sports fan who's not in the business of sports would know about this guy. He is batshit crazy, and it's the scariest story ever. I mean, the guy might be a serial killer. They have his DNA now, and they're going to try to link him to the unsolved murders that are all over Boston. The Boston Strangler might be like a piker compared to Aaron Hernandez. And he did a lot of these murders after signing with the Patriots and possibly after catching a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl and signing for $40 million. Doesn't make any sense, but he clearly wanted to be a gangster more than a football player. And he's a sociopath and a psychopath, and that psyche is hard to figure out for a normal person. I'm far from normal, but I still can't get it. And Dan is going to give us some insight. And he's a friend of the show. Danny Wetzel, thanks for coming on, buddy. Dan Wetzel. What's up? Did he hang up?
Oh, there you are. I'm here.
What the fuck were you
Sorry
doing?
about that. My thing went to mute. I didn't know.
Mute? My
Mute.
God,
I had you on mute.
the intro I just gave you was worthy of
I
Edward
know.
R.
I
Murrow.
know. Nice intro. Nice
All right, you know
intro
what?
ever.
Scrap. You know what? I'm able. No, don't scrap it, but don't erase it. I'm able to do. I'm a broadcaster. I can repeat exactly what I just said. Here's Dan Wetzel. Dan, what's up?
What's up, Artie? How are you?
How you doing,
Very
man?
nice intro.
All right, so
Very
listen.
nice
First
intro.
of all, good hanging the other night. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
It was good.
Great show.
Oh, thank you.
Great
Thank
show.
you.
Man, you killed it. I was dying.
I appreciate it. We were at I believe, a mafia-run showroom in the where a lot of the union guys from General Motors hang out. And I don't know. I insulted a couple of people in the
It was
audience.
a rough crowd, but you survived.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
made it out.
I don't know. I really felt I insulted some connected people, and he's over at the Marriott. We're gonna fucking show this motherfucker a thing or two. That Midwestern mob accent. This cocksucker. I don't know. You're fucking wired up wrong, motherfucker. I'll shove Miguel Cabrera's fungal butt up your fucking ass. But I got through it, and it was a fun time. And me and Dan went out to dinner afterwards. And again, the Aaron Hernandez. Anybody here not familiar? Well, let me tell you who you're with here. One is a Big J. Okerson, one of the best comics working today, a good friend of mine, and he's a big sports guy. And Gino Bisconte, also a big sports guy.
Hey, buddy.
He grew up.
Know them both.
Grew up
Great
with,
stuff.
Yeah, well, Gino grew up with a life of privilege in Delaware. Went to a private school. He's one of these guys who tries to pretend he was poor, but he's really a fruit.
Upper crust Delaware.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really some sort of fruit. And I don't say that like sexually, but he's a guy. He's flimsy, as we used to say on the street corner. I'm kidding.
I'm enjoying it.
He's a ladies' man. He's
going well.
He's like Johnny Fontaine. And
never get that
also, I'm here with Ralph. What's your last name?
Sutton.
Ralph Sutton. Now, Ralph, you're not a sports.
Not at all. Know
Okay,
nothing about
so-
sports.
Now, I talked to Gino. Jay, have you followed the Aaron Hernandez trial at all?
Yeah, I found it pretty disturbing.
Very
actually,
disturbing.
watching, especially because he never seemed to frown.
Flinch.
He's a sociopath.
Like he laughed.
He's a sociopath.
Every day he was in the courtroom, like giggling in some
Right.
capacity.
And again, for some of you people out there who might not know, and by that I mean gay guys and broads,
And Ralph.
Aaron Hernandez was a prospect making a $40 million contract for the Patriots. Bob Kraft seemed to like him. Tom Brady seemed to like him. Here's a guy who was looking at the life. He got out of a thug area and got his family out, and he was looking at the good life, man, winning the lottery. And he threw it all away because he wanted to be a gangster, and he killed a couple of people for no other apparent motive than they dissed him.
Well,
And, listen, we've all been there.
Ralph's not a sports fan, but he gets the street.
guess I go to the
Okay,
streets.
$40 million bucks, though. They dissed you. Look the other way.
didn't they also say to the jury at the end, you got it wrong? Like he mouthed that to the jury?
He said you got it wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, that's why Dan was actually
told the
in
judge- he
the
told the guard.
Dan was in the courtroom, and Dan very eloquently explained it to me. So, Dan, try to give me, first of all, with the first case that he just got convicted of, give us the details of exactly what he did.
Yeah, look, you got it right on why this is fascinating, because we've had rich and famous and successful people kill, even the NFL, but not while they're at the peak. And if they do, it's usually spousal. They kill their wife or their husband, I guess.
Something understood.
This was not a domestic dispute. This guy was just running around shooting people.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Literally shooting people. So I can go through all the different ones we know of. There was a thing in, this one, you want this one. He had his fiance sister had a boyfriend. There's a guy, Odin Lloyd, who was a landscaper and like a semi-pro football player up in Boston.
Right.
He got to know the guy because the sisters are hanging out at the house. This guy, they would smoke pot together. They'd hang out.
So this is
They went-
Aaron Hernandez's sister's fiance.
Yeah, like a future brother-in-law.
Future
maybe.
brother. Okay.
Maybe, right? If it was all going down.
Okay.
So they were like pals, right? And this guy was nobody. I don't want to say nobody, but you know what I mean. He was a landscaper and a guy who grew up in a tough part of Boston and never got in a gang and just was like from the Caribbean and just a happy-go-lucky guy.
From the Caribbean.
He's
Talk
hanging
about
out.
nobody.
Not nobody, but
No,
you know
I
what I
understand.
mean.
I
Not
get
an
it.
NFL player.
I get it. Yeah.
Regular guy. This is your regular guy.
Regular guy.
And they're hanging out, and for whatever reason, Hernandez turns on him. And
But
they've
whatever,
never really
and
established why.
And whatever reason could be, like you say, just an argument.
Could be an argument.
Yeah.
Could be that he knew more. He knew more about what Hernandez was up to than he wanted him to.
Right.
They never came up with a good reason. So then people speculate, he knew about these other murders. Maybe, maybe not. You don't know, but it almost doesn't matter. They get together on this Sunday on Father's Day. Hernandez goes out drinking with his fiance and some other friends. He calls these two dudes he knows from Bristol, Connecticut, that he grew up with to drive up in a car that he owned, that he was renting. They show up at his house at like 12:30, 1 in the morning. They just drive to Boston, like 50 miles away. Get this guy Odin Lloyd. They drive back to this field behind an industrial park right near Hernandez's home out in the suburbs. Pitch black.
Jesus.
And 4 guys go back there, and the prosecution says Hernandez shot him 6 times and murdered him.
6
and then
times.
goes back to his house. 6 times.
6 times. And he's actually the trigger man. He didn't tell his other buddies to shoot him.
They say he was the trigger man, but under the Massachusetts law, it didn't matter who shot it as long as they were all willing participants. And Hernandez, certainly to me, and it seems to the jury, was clearly in charge of this group. The other two guys are like small-time cheap drug dealers and criminals in a small town in Connecticut.
The guy's a possible future All-Pro, multimillionaire patriot. He's royalty. They're in Massachusetts. Leader of the group. He's royalty. I mean,
and he has a huge ego and presence.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a shy guy. He's, like you were saying, you know, in the courtroom, he's smiling. He's got a swagger. He's got all the money. He rents them a car. He gives them money. They stay at his house. Like, everything's through him. So even if he wasn't the trigger man, but they showed with shell casings, they made a case that he was the one who shot him.
Right.
And so the thing about this guy that's so amazing about this story is he's so, you know, I don't know whether he's arrogant or he was drunk and high, but, I mean, this was a terrible murder. But he had gotten away with these things before, so I hesitate to call him a bad killer or shooter because this is like his fourth incident. But, like, he takes a guy out of Boston where there's lots of murders and drives into a little town right near his house where there are never murders. And
Good move.
So
Good move.
if he had dumped them behind in an alley in Boston, they may never have figured it out. But you go to these suburban towns, and the cops are all jacked up because they never get a murder.
Yeah, they're like,
Really?
wow.
23 guys came to investigate this murder.
Wow.
23 cops.
Well, what are they doing? They're giving out parking tickets.
They get the
Yeah,
dust
they're
off.
looking right. So they're looking for every tire print, every single thing.
They get
and
the
then
dust
they
off their
find these
inspector
people.
jackets.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like Fargo.
Pretty much. And so...
But what gets him is he goes back to his house. He leaves this home surveillance video on. So they show him in his own house 2 minutes. They show him pulling up after the murder with the other two guys. They all get out. He's not mad at the other guys. They go inside. They show him in his own living room holding a gun.
Wow.
Walking around, and then they bring in a guy from Glock. Man, this guy loved guns. He's like, that's the gun. That's a Glock 45 semi-automatic, Model 21. Boom, you can tell by the curve of the gun. So he's basically carrying the murder. Like, what are the coincidences that you would have this guy die by a gunshot 2 minutes from your house, and 2 minutes later you're in the living room carrying it around? But you didn't do it.
And, you know, he could have easily just turned off the surveillance
Erased
camera.
it.
Yeah, could have erased
Yeah,
it.
he erased it,
Erased
turned
it,
it.
yeah. Now-
He wore these rare Nike Air Jordan retro shoes.
Right.
There's like 90,000 pairs in the world. He's got a size 13 foot. Like, what are the chances someone else has got? And then
He left his autograph by the side of the body.
The shoes disappear from the house, but they forget to throw out the box. So there's a shoe box,
Well, so listen.
but not.
So he's not exactly Lex Luthor.
No.
But here's the other astonishing thing. He now enlists his fiance Hernandez when he starts to smarten up a little bit and says, I got to at least get rid of the murder weapon and whatever else incriminates me. And he asks his fiance, who was in the courtroom every day, to get rid of a bag, a box. Explain that part of it.
Yeah, so he texts his fiance the next day. Now, his fiance's got her sister over the house. She's mourning. She's got an 8-month-old baby to take care of, and she's got, like, her uncle there. So it's total chaos. Now, I don't know if any of you guys are married, but anybody listening. He
No, but-
texts
so-
his
but-
fiance
But the baby,
and says,
Dan,
hey, there's a box in the basement, in the storage room. Go get it. Take it, and get it out of here.
Oh, my God.
Okay, just randomly. Now, she had already asked him. This is how suspicious the fiance was of Aaron Hernandez. She said, "Did you kill Odin Lloyd?" Did you kill Odin?
wow.
And he goes, "No." So she leaves it at that, which I actually am okay with because he's a scary dude, right? You go, okay, but she's suspicious enough to ask, "Did
Right.
you kill him?" But then she gets a text. Now, my wife would say, "You go get the box yourself when you get home. I'm not going to get the box.
Well-
I'm not even taking it to the garage, right?"
Well, you're a white guy. You don't know how to handle broads.
Oh no, my
Yeah,
wife would
I'm
get the
not
box.
likely to kill her.
Well, listen,
No
but
sense.
now, first of all, a couple of details. The 8-month-old kid, that is Hernandez's child with this, his biological kid. Okay. Now, what else do you think could have been in that box? Is it just the gun? Do you think there's something else in there?
No, I think there were a bunch of guns. I think it was all his pot. I think all of his, like, drug paraphernalia,
Because that's the other
any
thing.
drugs he had.
That's
He had
the-
to get rid of the drugs.
That's the other thing. He's a guy who was always stoned in the off season.
Always stoned.
And I heard in the regular season too, weed stays in you for 30 days. How the fuck does he get away with that?
They test like at the beginning of training camp, and as long as you don't fail that, they won't test again to like the next year.
So the system's
So
bullshit.
you had to like stay clean for a month,
Right.
and it was coming up on that month, so he may have been smoking more than normal. But when they police searched the house, there was no drugs found in the house. Now there were like, maids were like, "Oh, there's huge piles of pot on the kitchen table." And we see him smoking in the video all the time, and everyone says he's smoking pot. So I think there's a bunch of stuff in the box. But anyway, she takes it out. Now again, it's home surveillance. We see video of this woman immediately scurrying downstairs, dropping everything to go grab this big box and carrying it. And we see her carrying
which
it out.
weighs 42 pounds, Danny. We talked about this
40
yesterday.
pounds, yeah.
If you go to pick up a box at your husband, and you have a great point, like, oh my God, he'll murder me if I don't do it. But don't you say, what the fuck is in this box?
What
and
is
look?
in this thing?
But she's
Yeah,
like,
right.
I didn't look. I didn't look.
I only questioned at 43
Never
pounds.
looked. Not only that, she wraps the box in a garbage bag and then stuffs on top of the box a bunch of baby clothes so no one can look inside.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's a good lady. That's a good fucking woman.
That's sweet. But
So then,
It's a ride or die
he takes
bitch.
the box to the car, immediately leaves, and drives to find a dumpster. She can't remember where, and then she says, "I can't remember where the dumpster was." And I know I disposed of it. I never looked in the box. It's a mystery box in a mystery dumpster. I got no idea where it is. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I remember Aaron Hernandez says, go to where I shot Odin Lloyd and make a left. And that's where you'll find
well,
the
you know,
dumpster.
you're joking, but he would say, supposedly, and this might come out in another trial, he pointed out to a guy who he ended up at least trying to kill. He goes, that's the spot. And he said, that's the spot where I killed two other murders. Unrelated.
Right, maybe, yeah.
Supposedly two guys dissed him in the club. He killed him in front of the club. And he pointed
That was a
out,
different one, yeah.
Yeah, pointed out to another friend, that's the spot where I killed the guys. And I believe that's the next trial he's up for. He's not done yet. They can't send him to prison. He's still in the county jail because he's got murders pending.
He's in the prison right now, but they're going to probably send him to the jail in Boston, Suffolk County House Corrections, to wait for the next trial. And that one was actually prior. Now, this was June of 2013. In August of 2012 or July of 2012, he had gone to a club with a friend. These two guys bumped into him. A drink got spilled, and apparently we're going to see video of it from the club. We haven't seen it yet, but that they were very disrespectful. So they didn't buy. I don't know whether they didn't buy him a drink or they didn't apologize, whatever. He flips out.
Makes sense to me.
He and his buddy go outside. Now think about how crazy this is. This story is even crazier than the other one.
And again, just to reiterate,
Gets
we're
in an
talking about
an NFL player.
A guy, not just NFL player. He's not like a second string
Just caught a
punter.
Super Bowl touchdown.
Yeah, he's on the Patriots, $40 million. Go ahead.
But it's amazing what an overachiever he is. He's a great NFL player and a mass murderer.
He seems to be good at both.
So he gets in his car, his SUV, and they show him. They have video. They say of him circling the block. The car keeps going around and around for an hour.
He was looking for a spot.
He doesn't calm down. He doesn't say, "Oh, screw it, I'm just going to drive away."
Well, that gets you
or
mad.
I'm going to wait for him and fight him. Like the thing with Aaron Hernandez is all of the incidents, and there's more in Florida. He never stands up one-on-one with a guy and says, "Let's fight." It's always sucker punches, sneak attacks, all that.
Or sucker
Everything
gun.
is
He's a team sports guy.
sucker gun, yeah. Sucker gun. Well, so these guys come out an hour later. There's five of them. They get in a car. Hernandez. They go down the street. Hernandez follows them. We don't see any more video, I guess. But he pulls up they stop at a stoplight. He pulls right up next to him, leans out the driver's side, and he's got a revolver, and he fires 5 shots into the car. He kills 2 guys, wounds 1. 2 other guys leave, and one of the witness in his car, I'll get to this story, but he actually shot that guy at a different time. But the guy in the car says he just kept pulling, it's a revolver, he just kept pulling the pulling the trigger.
Wow.
So the thing kept going, even though it was empty. It was like empty, empty, empty. He was just trying to shoot more bullets that
Click,
he didn't
click,
have.
click.
Click, 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 click. Then he pulls away and goes.
Listen, I mean, we're laughing because
These guys
of course
have no
it's
idea what
funny.
hit him.
Yeah. Okay, so now they have
It's
his.
not funny, but it's funny because it's so absurd.
Now-
And then 3 weeks later, the Patriots give him a $40 million contract.
Wow. So now they have his DNA,
But let's not get
and they're
above
going to put the
And he
DNA.
plays a whole year as a double murderer. Man.
Right, and
All year.
puts the DNA through the. They're going to put his DNA through the system, and they're thinking he might be linked to maybe 10 other
Wow.
murders.
Well, no, I don't know. They don't know, but they now that he's a convicted felon under the law, he had to turn over a DNA sample that is allowed to then get put into the cold case thing. Because what we have is there was an incident when he was at the University of Florida where there was a shooting after a fight. Two guys got in a fight with a bunch of football players in Florida where he was a player.
Miami, right?
And then
Miami?
outside, no, University of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went to Florida.
And,
he was a
my
Gator.
bad.
He was a Gator.
My
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Gator, yeah, he was on the great Gator teams, won a
didn't
national
realize
title.
that.
He
Won
was
a
Tim Tebow's roommate for a little while.
He was Tim Tebow's fucking roommate. The Bible. He should have picked up the Old Testament. How about looking
There
at
was clearly.
how about looking at those
clearly an
fucking
odd
commandments?
couple
Thou shalt not kill every once in a while.
there. Yeah, I guess
Every
they
now and
skipped that
again,
one.
thou shalt not kill.
I mean, Dan,
Whatever Tebow was teaching wasn't taken.
Dan,
But
have you ever-
Somebody shot this car, and the two guys that got shot said it was a football player with who was muscular with tons of tattoos that looked Hawaiian.
Was it me?
Whose name rhymed with Menendez.
Wasn't him. The Gainesville, the vaunted Gainesville police were unable to identify a suspect from the Florida football team. I
Dan-
mean, come on, there's only like 80 guys on the team.
Dan, in all time covering sports, have you ever heard of someone throwing it away in that most fucked up of a way? I mean, I don't think so. Right?
Because, like you said, he wanted to be a gangster.
Yeah.
None of this stuff was threats to him. He was not in. People go, oh, he got pulled back into, his old days in Bristol, Connecticut. He wasn't arrested as a kid.
Right.
It wasn't like he came out of the Crips in South Central LA and then made it as an NFL and then got pulled back. These murders, all murders are senseless, I guess, by definition, but these are particularly senseless. Like, these guys were no threat to him. There was no concerns of what they could do to him. He had all the power. These aren't drug deals gone bad. They aren't, like we said, domestic abuse or anything like that. He's just out there going crazy on people. And maybe it snowballs because he's got to keep silent, but all of this stuff is just crazy behavior. And we've never seen something like this, particularly with someone in his prime.
Oh, prime, man, not even maybe. He might not even be in his prime yet.
Hadn't seen his best days.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not
in
10
all
years
defense-
later he had fallen on hard times and he got drug addicted or he's crazy later in life. The guy was 23 years old.
Unbelievable. Jay, what were you going to say?
This really takes the heat off of the stupidity of Manti Te'o, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. And Britt McKenna.
Manti's great. He's every father's dream come true.
I'm gonna be honest.
Like,
with
you want Manti dating your daughter, man. The guy doesn't even want to hold her.
I would love
Talk
it.
to her all night on the phone.
Well, listen,
Best boyfriend ever.
talk about the guy shot in the eye at the John Deere dealership. Tell that story. This is
All right,
this is great.
So then, the witness to the 2012 murder.
Another Hernandez
Double
story.
murder.
Right, okay.
Right. Okay. The guy he was at the club with, who was in the car with him, they leave. This guy is a pretty good criminal. His name's Alexander Bradley.
Pretty good criminal.
Giving credit where credit's due,
Pretty good
Danny.
criminal.
That's nice of you.
Not a clown. Not a total clown.
Not as good as Hernandez.
He's currently locked up in Connecticut for shooting up a nightclub in Hartford with 11 shots to the front door
Well, that's bad news.
of the club. Yeah, so he's a bad guy. But he and Hernandez were at the 2012 murder. Now it's February 2013. They're all down in Florida, and they go out for a night to strip club Tootsie's Cabaret.
I know Tootsie's.
Down in
I
Miami.
know it. I
bet
love
you
it.
do.
I love it.
Well, bet you do. So I have not gone yet, but I got to go where the story takes me.
I'll take it, Dan. I'll take it, Dan. We'll do some
Right.
extensive
Yeah,
research.
journalistic.
Yeah.
Journalistic. Got to go to all the back rooms of it. No, so they go out. They have an argument Okay, so Hernandez invites 2 other dudes. And at the end of the night, the bar bill comes, and Hernandez wants to split it 50-50. He and his 2 friends, and then Bradley pays the other half. Bradley says that's bullshit. Let's just pay quarter, 4 ways. So they start arguing. They're driving home. Bradley says, "I left my cell phone at the club. Go back." Hernandez is driving. Says, "I'm not going back." So we haven't heard the whole case yet because it hasn't come to.
But so the guy, so Hernandez will not go.
The guy
back.
said something disparaging to Hernandez.
So, but the guy and Hernandez is this guy's friend. He won't go back to get his cell phone. What a
won't go back and get a cell phone, which is an asshole move in its own right.
You get your buddy's cell phone. If you met the guy that night,
on
you
the
go get
list
a
of
cell phone.
Hernandez sins, it's going to rank low, but still an asshole move. I mean,
Sure.
you got to go back and get the cell phone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, not his biggest crime, but certainly on the list. So he doesn't do it. So they're arguing, and I guess Bradley says he kind of passes out the car. They're driving. Hernandez pulls off the highway down this dirt alley, and Bradley wakes up with a gun right between his eyes, and Hernandez shoots him, blasts him between the eyes, gets out, opens the side door, throws him out, leaves him in the field to die, and drives away. Exactly very similar to the Odin Lloyd murder.
You fucking imagine.
And it's 7 a.m. They were out all night. So 7 a.m. So these guys were showing up for work at the John Deere dealership. They find this dude shot. They call the hospital. So he survives. He loses an eye, but he survives, and he's got this big, his face all messed up.
Right.
But he won't cooperate with the police. But then he decides to sue Hernandez in federal court for a ton of money. Just bizarre in its own
Now,
right.
what do you
Whatever.
have to prove?
Now-
What do you have to prove if there's no criminal charge? Like to sue him and win, you have to prove he shot you, right? I mean, and I don't understand how you don't.
I think he thought originally Hernandez would settle because Bradley,
Of course.
remember, is now an eyewitness to a double homicide.
Right.
So it's almost like hush money, but Hernandez didn't do it, and now who knows? There won't be any money left for Alexander Bradley because if all the murder victims will get the money first.
So how many
whatever's left.
How many cases are actually
So
pending?
altogether, we got 4 shootings, 7 guys, 3 dead.
Wow.
Jesus.
That we
Reasonably-
know. That we know about. That we know about.
Some of these are alleged. Some of these are not. We don't know that he was the muscular, tattooed, Hawaiian-looking football player that shot 2 guys in a
He
car.
hit 4 of 7
but-
targets. The Eagles would kill for a quarterback like that, Jay.
Is it possible that the tally will get higher, or is there no other case?
That's the
Well,
thing.
now
They have
we
his
got the
DNA.
Oh God, let's go crazy.
Now they have his DNA, so we could. So there's like a 5-year gap where nobody got shot.
He
by
might have killed
Hernandez
Jimmy
that we know of. So we don't know. Might be more, might not. But those are 4 totally separate incidents. 4 different police departments. So they're kind of trying to argue he got framed and stuff by 4 different police departments at 4 different times. Unknowingly, no way.
You got anything?
You use the term sociopath, and that gets used a lot, that term, but I mean, this is like one of the few distinct moments that I think you're dealing with. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've always thought this.
Because a
too.
sociopath is someone basically, people do say it, but the actual, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dan or Jay, the actual definition of a sociopath is someone who really has no compassion for another human being's feelings.
No.
It's just about
But I forget what's the difference between
Right.
It's not even about this,
sociopath
it's
and
not even about
psychopath.
that.
A psychopath is capable of really, what
I don't think sociopath even has a feeling about themselves. They just lack the connection
feeling connection
of just like
Lack empathy, right?
yeah, any kind of way. And it's just it's amazing that I mean, I guess we're all probably able to kill in the right situation. If it's kill or be killed.
Everybody has fucked up shit in them, but you
Sure,
also
but
have
Tell you
that
what, diss me at a club and find out what happens.
But just to murder somebody and then even the thought that a couple days later you're trying to memorize, button hook plays, is
Right.
pretty bizarre.
Okay, you know what? You
Button
just
dick
to
plays. He
me
was very good in
Now-
the rest of his life.
But you know what? What Jay
Clearly
said.
was functioning.
What Jay just said to me is the definition of a sociopath. You can do something that fucked up and then go on with your life.
It's not it's not haunting.
And,
Right,
and do
right,
it so
right.
well. This is a Pro Bowl tight end. This is not, friggin' Brett Selleck.
Even those,
Yeah.
even when they show I watch a lot of those documentaries where it's gang member murderers,
Right.
And they're in jail. And once they do that time and they sit there enough and with enough therapy, you see them actually saying they've reached out to the families and stuff, and they just it's
Remorse.
Just, when it's put in front of their face what they've done. You could see it on them. Like they do wear it, and this guy. And it's almost like I said. Everything I saw about the trial, all the video of the trial, it shows him like dimply and
completely
smiling.
stoic about it. And
I thought
listen,
stoics. It seemed like if something funny was said to him, he'd giggle.
almost the
part of
emotion he
his day.
shows is happiness.
It's
Never broke stride.
It's
He'd walk in it with a swagger.
With
He had
his
no
mom
bags on his
crying.
side.
that same that
Looked
same
like
reaction.
He was sleeping 9 hours a night.
Yeah, that same reaction is the way I felt about.
See,
You know the story, the West Memphis Three. You know those things.
sure, yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah.
And I know it was essentially proven that they didn't do it and everything. What I always found bizarre was when they sentenced that main kid, the Damien Eccles kid.
Yeah.
They had that video of him being sentenced to death in the
Yeah.
courtroom. They give him the death sentence.
Yeah.
He just looks at the judge and they take him out, and his face looks very normal. He didn't break for even 2 seconds, and that's the thing I always lingered with me. I'm like, I guess they didn't do it, but why was he so casual about taking his sentence? Like, I guess they're going to.
By the way, I just googled
Sometimes at the verdict they'll be so steeled to it.
Yeah.
But usually during the trial, now this was a 2.5 month trial. He never looked bad, and by the end, I mean these things are stressful. Like he's waiting as a jury is deciding his fate. Now I don't care if you're innocent or guilty. This would seem like something would be extremely stressful.
Of course.
Well, Danny, speaking,
It doesn't matter.
Danny,
He's
speaking of the
sitting there.
trial,
The jury, the lawyers are exhausted. The judge is exhausted. The families are exhausted.
I'm
He comes to
exhausted.
the court every day. Looks great. He's great.
By the way, I just googled
OJ
it. It's psychopath, not sociopath that we're talking about. I
Right.
just googled the difference.
well, I mean, Danny,
OJ looks stressed.
Yeah, he looked. I
You know?
mean, his head was down when they read that verdict. His head was down. He was like, hoping to God that they came back
Right.
with a not guilty.
Gino, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Danny, I was laughing when I saw the numbers. Like, do you think there's some arrogance even to Hernandez? Like, the defense brought up 131 witnesses over the course of 39 days. He had 3 witnesses one day. That was his defense. I mean, is that him just saying we got nothing, or that him be like, look, they're not gonna fucking just say we didn't do it? And then wasn't their defense at the end like he was there, but he wasn't the one that pulled the trigger? I mean, does that get into the
But
arrogance
it
of
could
this
still
fucking
get.
guy?
You could still get a murder one for that, though.
I heard
You know?
his defense was,
Well, yeah, you can get murder one for that if
Boys will be
you're
boys.
joined.
Boys will
But
be
by the end, there was no way to claim he wasn't there.
Right.
There was no. They had footprints. They had tire tracks. They had his cell phone thing. They had video of him in the car with 4 guys, and then they show the car pulling back there. They had like these factories, like little surveillance, 3 seconds showing the car drive by.
Wow.
As it heads to the spot.
Was the
So
ultimate evidence the
they had to admit
positraction?
he was there. Yeah, basically, yeah, it was like that.
Positraction,
They almost
man.
had Mona Lisa Vito as the witness. Would have jazzed up court a little bit.
Hold on, Dan.
But no, they had it, so they had nothing.
What
They had
was
no
it-
defense? All they could say is they didn't prove it.
What was it like being in that courtroom? Is it tedious? Is it always exciting? What's it like being in there?
No, during a trial, trials are tedious.
Yeah.
Because if you read about it, like 5 minutes of something interesting happening, that'll be more than enough for
Sure.
that night on TV or stories. If you get 5 minutes, but you're there 7 hours.
But
So
trials
there
are
are days,
like trials are like making movies.
They go on and
I've
on.
been in court. Yeah, people think it's exciting. It is boring. It's like
it's boring until the end. Then it's very exciting. But yeah, because they had to do I'm going to take their word for it and say they have this cell phone evidence, but they had to sit there with each 4 guys' cell phones and say, and they all had different plans. It was a pain in the neck, but it was like, here's the guy from T-Mobile. And they say, okay, at 2:32, you were by this tower. At 2:34, you were by this tower. And they could show the track of how they drove. And they could basically place them right in the murder scene.
Big
So
Brother's
it's
watch.
incredibly important incredibly important evidence. Incredibly
here,
important.
237, you
but it
farted
took like
on
an
14th
entire
Street.
day. Yeah, you had to go through the entire day of every cell phone tower. It would take hours and hours.
Let me throw this out.
It was so boring.
Let me throw this out to the people, Dan, and everybody sitting there. What do you think about surveillance like that? Is it ultimately a good thing for society to have that kind of data available to you about a person's day? Is it too much an invasion of privacy? In this sense, it's good because you help convict the guy who's clearly a dirtbag, but is the downside too big where you lose privacy? I mean, should we go further with it to where there's a camera every 2 fucking feet and everything you do outside the house you see?
If it stops one mass murder or one terrorist attack, I'm fine with it. I also feel that you can very easily remove yourself from the grid if you really don't want to be a part of it. Don't have a cell phone.
If you live in certain areas, you can't, though.
Don't have a cell phone. Don't use the internet.
Nah.
If you're walking down a fucking
There's
street, you're on
cameras on
camera.
every corner.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You know what?
There's camera everywhere. And the cars now, the more the cars now they can communicate with each other. You need a car from like pre-95 to drive around without anyone knowing where you're at. That car has now got GPS on it. It's got communications. You're done.
Well,
you
listen,
can't go
man,
anywhere anymore.
if I get drunk and make a couple more comments on Twitter, I'll have a 1995 car, so it doesn't matter. The bottom will fall out. To me, that's kind of scary. The Unabomber, I think, had a point. The way he executed the point was terrible. I'm against it. But look, that manifesto he wrote about technology, there's some good points in there, man. This is... I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing that lends itself
It's
to
scary. You're wherever you are, they know you're there.
to all your info kind of just being there. I mean, that's what kind of led to, and I benefited as well as everybody else did. But like that, the fappening, remember that when they got all the dirty pictures from everybody ever? It's like
sure
that shit is just there. It is. Nice. It's pretty scary. And I even heard like. That was the cloud. They hacked the cloud for all that.
Right.
But I heard even with that, like, I turned my cloud thing off. I don't have it. But they go, it doesn't matter. It's still there.
Yeah,
really.
you're still in the cloud.
Oh, cops,
just can't
any
get to
text,
your own cloud.
Any text you've sent to do something nefarious, delete? It ain't like burning a piece of paper like in the old days. Bookies used to record every book I dealt with that was legit. And this sounds weird, but there's a real reason to do it. They would tape every single phone call, have it on a cassette tape until the games were over, in case the guy that put the bets in had a dispute, so the bookie could play the tape back. Go, no, listen, these bets really happened. You owe me this money. But then when the video, or a cassette tape, you destroy it, it's gone. They would write it on paper. After that, you burn it, it's gone. These texts, I don't care how many times you hit delete, they'll find the fucking text. They are out there. Every email, every text, they're out there. And if they want to get them in a trial and get a warrant to get them, they will get them. And it's becoming easier and easier to get those warrants. There's a lot of stuff trying to be passed in Congress right now, laws about how easy it is for a cop to get that shit. They're needing less and less information and less evidence compiled to get access to those records in certain cases. And it does solve a lot of problems that need to be solved and murders and puts bad people away. But I don't know. Is the downside worse where innocent people get fucked with?
Do you think that's what dismantled organized
You got
crime?
no privacy whatsoever.
Do you think that's what dismantled organized crime to some degree? Like, what can you do?
On a lot of levels. I mean, listen, first of all, with The Sopranos and Goodfellas and TV shows and jokes that are made, a chick in Indiana who's a housewife making, lasagna and doing the dishes knows how to run the numbers because they watch The Sopranos. So what happens? You need crooked cops. You need guys who look the other way. Do you think John Gotti would have been happy if one of his crew opened a Twitter account?
Follow me, Tommy Two Tummies.
Right. I'm at Angelo Quack Quack Ruggiero. Did a hit with Tommy last night.
Feeling a little hungry. Hashtag White Castle, question mark?
They didn't even use the phone. Right, exactly.
Well,
they didn't even use the phone.
Artie, I did this case on it was in Steubenville, Ohio. There was a big high school
home of Dean Martin
case. Yep, Dean Martin, Tracy Lords, also Jimmy the Greek Snyder.
That was a real drop off. Tracy Lords.
Wow, that was 3 totally different
Tracy
fields
Lords.
there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, if you've been to Steubenville, may not surprise you.
Very
But
industrial.
They had this rape trial, but these high school kids got caught, and the reason they got caught, especially the young kids, because there's, if you're older, it's easier to just not be on your phone all day, a little bit.
Sure.
But the high school kids, forget it. These kids were texting and taking pictures of everything and tweeting and making YouTube videos to where they had the cops, all they had to do was get the cell phones of these kids, and there was like a real-time discussion. They filmed one of the assaults. They had a real-time, like, kids are like, are you hitting this? Oh, are you hitting that? Yeah, man, right now. Like, they're confessing. Then, afterwards, they try to cover it up with all these texts like, dude, don't talk to anybody about this, all this stuff.
Smart move.
It was the easiest case to prosecute because these kids at high school can't stop.
They won't
posting
shut up.
themselves at the scene, they won't shut up.
Yeah, they won't shut up.
These high school kids are done. Those kind of crimes are going to be so easy to convict, and that's a positive. But those, to me, that's like total stupidity.
After Henry,
where it's like I get the concern of like I just want to drive my car. I don't want anyone to know where I am.
in Goodfellas, in
in
Goodfellas, when Henry Hill's character gets arrested for the first time, he thinks Jimmy Conway's going to be mad at him, and he's not. And he goes, "Why? Because you told him nothing, you got nothing. You learned the two most important things in life. You know what they are? Look at me. Never rat on your friends, and always keep your mouth shut. That's it. That's all. That was the whole basis of crime. Keep your mouth shut." No one keeps their mouth shut anymore. There's the mob wives have a show. Yeah. Carlo Gambino's trying to turn over his grave.
Well, before they even with Hernandez, before they even had like hard evidence, the first thing they had was like, wasn't like Facebook pictures of him holding a gun in a mirror. Like, check me. It's like,
they got to show off. It's ego. And then you get a little bit of fame. And anybody gets a little bit of fame, there's always a period of adjustment where you go nuts and do stupid shit, and you have to calm down. And then, hopefully you have a mentor around you who tells you how to do that. But with thugs and gangsters, man, if they think they did something that's kind of sexy in their world, like robbed a bank, made some money, kicked up to the big man, fucking did a murder, whatever, they got to brag about it now. They have to. And you're right. I agree with you, Jay. How does anyone get away with anything anymore?
Hernandez wasn't a thug, or he was Hernandez was a dude in school.
I don't think he was a dude. He wasn't a pussy.
He was a pussy. I think he was a big pussy.
Think so?
Yeah. Then I know dudes like him.
If that's a pussy in your neighborhood,
it
man.
is. It's the dude who because like you said, he never went on.
He's a psychopath. He shot a guy in the
He's
face.
a psychopath, but he never
one-on-one.
Yeah, he never was a one-on-one guy.
But
those dudes are the pussy
that's
dudes.
street
Lost, though.
smart.
Who
Never
get
one-on-one.
their ass
That's street smart.
But I'm saying but that concept is law. That's gone with about 2 generations before me. It's you got a problem with a guy, go outside and scrap, and then one guy wins, one guy.
You're
that's
a pussy.
done.
I guess
Even-
maybe that's my
even murdering-
oldness kicking in. He's
what
a
it is.
pussy.
It's your
He
own-
murdering
can't
Odin Lloyd.
fight.
Listen, it's not about guy. Again, the
He
street.
had to get 2 guys to help him murder an unarmed.
You're a
He was a
pussy for your
pussy.
first 6
Like,
mortars, and
not-
then after the 6th one, you're a man.
Listen, the people, you're mixing up street smarts with someone who has something tough and something to prove. If you get 4 guys to murder one guy, that's street smarts. If you go one-on-one, you might lose. That's stupid. You make sure it happens.
Well, I guess that's when it comes down. Like you said, I'm just from a different era.
I've said-
you fucking take a loss, you take a
I
win,
said
you go home. It is what it is.
The loss might be your dead.
To take it on a much smaller level, it makes people laugh when I say this, but I've had things with guys in audiences doing comedy shows,
Yeah.
and I'm just annihilating the guy in a club where the crowd's on my side. There's 15 bouncers in the place.
Sure.
And then the guy's like, "You want to go outside?" I'm like, "Wow, what if I lose outside?"
Of course I don't want to go
I'm
outside.
annihilating you in here.
I'm on the flip side of that. I just got in a fight a week ago
Yeah.
at a fucking comedy club, and
No bouncers that did.
No
flimsy-ass
bouncers.
club.
It was 2 dudes who came up on me, and I was raised to be like, I actually fought growing up, and I
me
was
too.
a fighting
I
like
did too.
motherfucker, and I beat the dudes up enough to get the fuck home. That's all. That's
was
my
that
goal was
fight
to
when
get
you
home.
found out that you like sucking dick? Is that
I
why
mean,
you-
now listen. Once they found out I like the dick suck, they was like, "Look, we shouldn't hit this guy in the mouth."
Dude,
Really.
street smarts is picking up a bat. If a
Lose the
guy's
teeth.
got his fist, pick up a bat.
Don't hit Chris right in his cocksucker.
Oh, we don't want to bust those lips of his.
You make sure you win. You make sure you win. If it's unfair, who cares?
Oh, one thing. My dad gave me very little advice in life, but one of it he goes, I don't care if you have to bite his fucking cheek. He's like, win the
It ain't a
fight.
fight.
There's no referee.
It ain't
There's
the
no
Marcus of Queensberry rule.
Yeah, that's my dad. That's how my dad told. He's like, look, he said a sucker punch. There's no such thing as a sucker punch in a fight. It's a fucking fight. That's what you do.
Listen,
And throw
Dan.
the first punch.
Yeah.
Dan, real quick, I'm going to let you go. Your thoughts on the Tim Tebow signing?
I don't know. I hope he throws better than he used to.
Can I run?
You know, he got his chance with the Patriots, and
He wasn't
you know
hardcore
what I
enough
mean?
for that team,
was his
apparently.
best chance.
But he's been practicing with that house guy. Does that mean anything? I don't think he's any good. I think they got him mainly
No.
to push Matt
I
Barkley.
think he should have moved to a different position.
Yeah, but he refused to move to a different position.
Center.
He refused to play quarterback and
He'd be a beast nose guard.
Yeah, I mean, that's center. Maybe he'll have sex for the first
He's a
time.
great athlete.
Got quick feet.
He's a great athlete, but he's getting older.
He had a chance with the Patriots. Like Belichick doesn't care, and he's very creative. He'll create something. He had no use for the guy.
Yeah, of
Tebow-
course
And when
not.
Belichick doesn't care about he doesn't care about pressure one way or the other. He's
Tebow's
not
really
trying to
beating
sign him
without
because
the
he's
black in the
good.
arm.
Yeah.
does Rivers start for the Chargers this year? Or does he wind up in Tennessee
Jesus
or somewhere
Christ.
else? These are legitimate questions.
Fuck.
I don't know. I think he'll play for the Chargers long term. I actually do.
Peterson playing.
I think
is Peterson playing for the Vikings or is he playing for Dallas or somewhere else?
I think he goes somewhere else.
I think, first of all, to get back to Tebow, he's going to open up a nail salon in West Hollywood. That's what he's going to do. I think he's done playing. Listen, Dan, amazing stuff, and Dan might actually write a book about the Hernandez thing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's fascinating shit, but if you're in town soon, I know you're going out to cover Mayweather and Pacquiao. Please come on after that, man, if you can, and talk about that, okay?
Yeah, I will. All right, sounds good, man. Thanks, guys.
Thank you again. Thank you, friend, for dinner the other night. Thanks for coming. You're a good man, Dan. Thanks, all right?
Great time.
All right, buddy.
Take care, guys.
The great Dan Wetzel. Back with Rod from Bayside. We'll wrap it up with some prank calls after.
Can't have you worried about sushi while you're on
7
stage.
Say he's gonna be a good
The
day.
sushi joint where Bleecker Bob used to be, right next
Well,
to
I'll see you
Smigel.
Friday, and we'll confirm
Meet me
it.
at the cellar at 7. Welcome back to the biggest disappointment in Gino Bisconti's career.
And it's not even
The highlight for his career. I mean.
Not even close.
You know what? I misspoke.
Take two,
My
take
career.
two.
My career. Back with all the gang, and we're going to talk to Rod from Bayside for you blisteringly loyal fans of this podcast. You know Rod from Bayside. On my old DirecTV show, this guy has got balls. He does great prank calls, and he calls Mike Francesa a lot, which is great because Francesa wants to put a hit out on him at this point. And he mentions references to the podcast, Dan Filato's fart box being one of them. Some of my physical attributes that aren't the tidiest. And he's good. He's good. He gets it. The best is Francesa getting mad and claiming it didn't get on the air when it got on the air, and then doing a 20-minute soliloquy promoting our show, basically, when he wants to get mad at us. So, and he gets Steve Summers, the overnight guy at the Fan, which is just the schmooze, who apparently doesn't listen to himself. Did you get Summers with his own voice again?
No, I got Summers with Jonas from Sweden.
Oh, there's a kid who listens to the show in Sweden with a Swedish accent. So you had tape of his voice?
Yeah, well, he had called into the podcast like last week, so I just took clips of what he was talking with you about and called Summers with it.
All right, well, let's, being a show business vet, I know how to build a crescendo. We'll close with Francesa. We'll start with Summers. Here is Rod from Bayside, prank calling the overnight guy at the Fan who's trying to talk sports, Steve Summers, who's about 111 years old, with a tape of a Swedish guy who listens to our show.
Jonas is calling from Queens. Jonas, you're on the Fan.
Who's in the studio with you?
What's that, Jonas? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
So you fans are crazy. That Gunner guy and Tan Falato keep spamming me. They keep adding me to every conversation.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying in this conversation. Try it
A
again.
couple of months ago, you talked about the Jihadi John guy with the Pittsburgh Pirates hat, and like how the Pirates...
No, I did not. No, you got the wrong talk show. You got the wrong radio station, I think.
The accent.
I mean, Summers is just, again, that's a pretty good example, but sometimes he falls for it so bad. We've gotten him with his own voice. Do we have any? Do we have any old clips, old calls of?
Well,
Summer?
I have a new. I have a new one of I sent also. James was there for this because James was actually the phone screener flipping. Sal Licata, he works for SNY, and now he's on the show.
I know Sal. All right.
So I got him with his own voice.
All right, let's hear that. So the guy's calling. This is a tape of his own voice. Okay, go ahead.
Holy cow, is it frustrating. Sal in Flushing. Sal, you're on the Voice of New York, the new 710 WOR. Is he there? Or not? There you go. Sal, you there?
What's going on?
I mean, not much. You tell me, buddy.
Here's the problem you have. It's hard to be positive where a team has been so bad for so long, and I think it's been disrespectful what they've done to the fan base because they haven't even tried the last couple of years.
Sal, you nailed it. I mean, that's the point. Now, again, I don't want to be negative, especially on this station. Look, I do work for the TV station, now work for the radio station. I don't want to be negative, especially in a positive year. I do think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be fine. But they gave you nothing. It was disrespectful.
He doesn't do it again? Is that it?
They gave you nothing for 4 or 5 years selling you on the future. Well, you get to the future, and guess what? It's not much better.
He goes off on his own voice. So play that again. Again, just to reiterate, when he yells nails it, he's yelling nail it and agreeing to him making a point.
How is it frustrating?
I play that again.
Holy cow, is it frustrating. Sal in Flushing. Sal, you're on the Voice of New York, the new 710 WOR. Is he there? Or not? There you go. Sal, you there?
What's going on?
I mean, not much. You tell me, buddy.
Oh, God.
Here's the problem you have. It's hard to be positive where a team has been so bad for so long, and I think it's been disrespectful what they've done to the fan base because they haven't even tried the last couple of years.
Sal, you nailed it.
Can I ask you a question? How early or did that guy say that? Like, where's that?
Yeah,
clip from?
how long ago?
time has elapsed?
Yeah, how long ago did he make that point?
I'm not exactly sure what the date was on that clip. I just found a clip and it fit perfectly.
But was it a long? It couldn't have been a long time before, right?
No. It was definitely before the current baseball season.
Because I mean, it's kind of a current point. It's like he doesn't recognize it's his voice saying something.
His thoughts.
His thoughts, and at least he agrees with himself. Some of these guys don't even realize.
And
some of these guys argue with themselves.
Did the call end cleanly, or did he ever figure it out?
No, I guess it sounds clean, right?
Yeah, he figured it out after I told Flippin that it was me,
Well,
and
Flippin-
Flippin didn't even realize it.
You were the screener. How long ago was it?
The original clip?
Yeah.
I have no idea. The original clip probably was sometime over the winter. Just one of the fill-in shows that he did
And when did this call just happen?
a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And you're like, listen, when you're on the radio, you do say so much shit and you're fried. You don't remember what happens, but it's the guy's voice making a point verbatim to what I guess he had in his head. You nailed it.
Oh, that's so funny.
You nailed it.
This guy's a genius.
All right, let's hear the French.
Finally, someone that agrees with me.
The
the dynamite?
The Francesa ones are always the best because he's so pompous. Well, how do you do you get him with his own voice, or what do you do with it?
I get him with your voice actually.
Oh Christ!
Just clips of you.
Go ahead.
Artie in Union, what's up, Artie?
What's up, buddy?
What's happening?
So this is a Yankee fan talking. It's not a sports expert. I'm not Francesa. I'm not the Mad Dog. I'm nobody. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan that spent a lot of money on the Yankees. Here's my opinion. I just want to masturbate. That's all I want to do.
So instead of turning out to be a Yankee fan, the guy turned out to be a moron.
I love what he says. It doesn't get on the air. It doesn't get on the air. Yeah, Mike, it got on the air, Mike. I'm sorry. Your producer's lying to you. You know what, though? You're always perfect, Rod, and dare I give the master some advice. You went to the masturbate a little too quick. Did you have any other? You could have strung him along a little longer. But you probably don't have a lot of options with voice stuff. But
Francesca usually cuts you off pretty quickly if he thinks you're going down a bad path. So that's why I just threw that clip in at the end. Make sure he wasn't going to cut me off.
Play that one more time.
Artie in Union, what's up, Artie?
What's up, buddy?
What's happening?
So this is a Yankee fan talking. It's not a sports expert. I'm not Francesca. I'm not the Mad Dog. I'm nobody. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan that spent a lot of money on the Yankees. Here's my opinion. I just want to masturbate. That's all I want to do.
Wow.
So instead of turning out to be a Yankee fan, the guy turned out to be a moron.
I also like that he used your real name. He says Artie.
I say Artie from Union, but and that's actually where I'm from too. But that was a quick segue edit, and I want to masturbate. Because out of nowhere, it's like, so the Yankees, I want to masturbate.
That's someone with real sex problems.
Well, yeah. Francesca's the best one to get because he's so pompous. I respect the guy. He knows a lot about sports. He's a great broadcaster, but he really is a pompous ass, man. And even if he's wrong, he doesn't admit it. That's when it's the best,
And he always says stuff doesn't bother him when it clearly does because he goes on and talks about it for a while, usually after.
Yeah. And ends up promoting us. Could you find any other ones, James, that are kind of better examples of Francesca going on and promoting us?
Does he wig out ever?
Yeah. Well, not crazy, but enough to where it's he's very annoyed.
You can tell he's annoyed, but he doesn't want to give you the satisfaction of knowing how annoyed he is. But you can tell he's fucking annoyed.
Well, if you're spending any time on someone trying to tell them how much you're not annoyed.
That's exactly it. That's and he's just an asshole. Blah, blah,
and he
blah,
says
blah, blah.
and he keeps saying it didn't get on the air, and it did get on the air.
Guy's nuts. Larry in Tom's River, what's up, Larry?
Hey, Mike, I wanted to ask you how you feel about Dan Filato from the Artie Lang Show taking a bologna baton in his duty dumpster.
All right, so there's a guy who just waits, and that's not getting on the air anyway. So you waste your time. It's just wasting your time. You're going to be vulgar to impress some other show somewhere. It's not going to get on the air. It's a waste of time. You can't get it on the air. John in Jersey.
And you feel listen, Mike, it was on the air. I hate to say it to you.
Can you imagine he's listening because you're like, where's he going with this?
It was on the air.
The duty dumpster. It's
Play that again.
Guy's nuts. Larry in Tom's River, what's up, Larry?
Hey, Mike, I wanted to ask you how you feel about Dan Filato from the Artie Lang Show taking a bologna baton in his duty dumpster.
All right, so there's a guy who just waits, and that's not getting on the air anyway. So you waste your time. It's just wasting your time. You're going to be vulgar to impress some other show somewhere. It's not going to get on the air. It's a waste of time.
It's not
You can't get it on the air. John in Jersey.
Oh, that's great.
He has to know that it went on the air.
He's just living. He's just trying to save face.
Good job, Rod, as always. But I want to get into something with Rod, some show notes. You and Dan have been on a Twitter war lately. Dan, get on the mic here. Rod, I got to defend my buddy Dan here. What is the tirade with you and just saying that Dan takes it in the ass so much? It's like you're obsessed with it.
Wait, hold on. I got to defend myself this time because I didn't say any. Dan attacked me first this time.
What he said?
No, that's not. Rod, do you think I go out of my way to
wait, listen.
you?
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you exactly what happened. So I was on Twitter. I was fucking around with I think it was Boschetti, and I said, "Oh yeah, Dan doesn't really like you" as a joke. And then Dan said something. He's like, "Oh, Rod, don't the lights have to go out on your house soon? It's your bedtime." So then I said something back to him, and then it went back and forth.
Battle of the wits over. So then, okay, but wait a minute. So Dan, but you kept saying, and I did see this thread or whatever you fucking pussy term we use, that you were really going off on Dan, taking it in the duty dumpster, and it's fun for a while. And that's very clever, duty dumpster, but it seemed to be much like you were obsessed. Dan, is that what you were feeling?
Yes, that was how I was feeling. And what happens is...
So Dan blocked him.
I
he
swear
gets
in that
all
whole
riled up, and I've told him in the past, stop doing that. Mike gets very upset. I don't want to upset Mike.
But you do
I
too,
like Mike.
But
Not
Dan,
on Twitter, I don't.
But you blocked him.
Yeah, I blocked Rod. I don't block Boschetti.
I know. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm saying, are you saying you're not mad? You're somehow defending Boschetti?
Yes, that's what I was doing. He knows that.
See, I think you're actually mad too, and you're not admitting.
He knows
you can admit it. I'd be mad.
No, he gets Mike all upset, and then it turns in this whole big thing where the Mike's got to come down and semi-apologize to me because he thinks that I said something bad, which I never did.
Well, Rod, explain yourself. What is your motive? To get Boschetti mad, Dan mad, or both?
Well, Mike knows I was joking. He knows I was just busting his chops. Yeah, he does. I speak to him.
But there's two Mikes. There's Twitter Mike. There's Twitter Mike, and there's, whatever Mike is when he's not on Twitter, as normal as he could be. But what's real? Like, I know Mike does get mad on Twitter.
Right. We're just coming off the Tonight Show thing where he was mad at, where you got it out of him that he was mad at me because he wasn't invited to the Tonight Show. I didn't invite people to the Tonight Show.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where
thanks for those
it was my decision, and he doesn't want to give me shit because he wants to be on the show, so he disses Dan. But that's but that's
that
Mike.
had nothing to do with me.
Right. And so then, so you try to get Mike riled up. I said, okay, fine, let it go. And then it's 12 hours of Dan sucks Artie's cock. And I don't want to see that,
Well,
Rod.
I don't want to see that either, dickhead. That don't make me look good either with the boys from Jersey, you fuck stain.
And then, that retard from the other, ne'er-do-wells that got nothing else to do on a Saturday night. I'm trying to, I said to you, I'm trying to watch the hockey game. Let it go. Stop. Dan sucks cock. What's wrong? You can't. How can you change the channel when you're sucking cock all night?
Well, that's a valid question. That's a valid question.
I tried it. A remote at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Dan, you can't aim at the TV.
Dan, do you eat pussy? Because, suck a pole.
But wait a minute. So, Rod, how do you respond to that?
well, what I'm saying is that's a total fabrication of the conversation.
No, it's not. I already saw it. I showed it to him.
It's a conversation fabrication.
That's not. First of all, in that conversation, I didn't say any gay jokes to you. You said something about me. You said something about me about living. Hold on, listen. You said something about me about living at home, and I said, "How are you going to say something to me when you're 60 years old and you live with another man?"
No, that's not. No, that was the.
What does that say about me? I'm paying.
What?
You're a sugar daddy.
A year ago, I was living with a blonde who was like a fucking Vegas 9.5, and now I'm with Filato. It's going downhill. But no, I love Dan, and I love Rod for his. But Rod, I mean, you seem to be. I mean, you guys are technically friends. I mean, the taking it in the fart box. Calm down.
Taking it in the fart box.
I'm telling you, in that conversation, that's the one time I'd make gay jokes about Dan.
Oh,
in that conversation.
Whatever.
I'm telling you, if I can get the screngshots, Dan blocked me, so I can't get a screenshot of what he was saying.
Okay.
But I could show you what I was saying, and
I can tell you exactly what I was saying. Don't your parents say you have to turn off your electronics at 8:00? And I said, Rod, I want to watch the fucking hockey game. Stop with the Dan sucks cocks.
But that is a rule I have.
That is not true. That is not true.
Yeah, it is true.
Can't we just Google fart box and it'll bring up all the tweets?
Fart box.
Rod, I like you. I really do. It's just on a Saturday night.
I do too.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
So Dan, why even on Twitter? Who cares?
Hey, and first of all, go through my. I never tweet Dan. I never do.
You always include me. What are you talking about, Rod?
That's not true.
I've told you, keep me out of your conversations.
That is not
with
true.
Mike,
People
gets
tag
mad.
me and they tag you.
Yeah.
People tag me and they tag you, so you see my name and think it's me tweeting, but it's not me tweeting. It's other people.
Oh, so you're saying there's trolls out there trying to continue this argument?
It's Mike
Right.
Francesa.
Well, not even just that. Like somebody like Jonas maybe sends a tweet and he tags Dan and he tags me.
Jonas
and
from
then
Sweden?
If I respond to
It's Johan. Jonas.
It's not Jonas,
Whatever.
by the
It's
way.
Johan.
Whatever it is, he
Johan.
shouldn't tweet. He should be talking all the time after listening to that prank call. I could listen to that guy for days.
You fucking cocksuckers!
Oh,
Yeehaw.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen.
Rod,
Clearly this is going nowhere.
I
want
have to be totally honest with you, Rod. 2 days after that, I was going to unblock you. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. I couldn't. I kept on.
You take an Apple class every week.
I know.
You can't
the
unblock
person's-
him. Take an Apple class every. He does. He's always in an Apple class.
Maybe it's an apple picking.
He knows how to do everything.
Maybe
got
he's apple picking. Gay people love that.
Oh, that's terrible.
See what I did there, Daddy?
And tell Gino to stop saying daddy about
that's what I
himself.
said.
That is creepy, man. That is creepy.
I'd forgotten about it until Rod tweeted.
Who
He's
you,
like-
Dick Shawn in a surf movie in the 1960s? Daddy?
I forgot, but Rob tweeted, thank God Artie made you stop saying daddy. I'm like, he didn't make daddy stop saying daddy. Daddy just forgot.
Calls
Daddy
himself
forgets.
Daddy.
Just keep me out of
Hit
the
him with a
conversations
fungo
with Mike
bat.
because Mike gets so upset, Rod.
Okay,
You
don't
got it, Dan.
don't make it
like I
about
said-
Mike. You know, because Dan admit you're upset by it too.
No, it is about Mike. That was
No,
what got
I-
me mad. Rod, do I ever acknowledge you even in Twitter? I don't acknowledge these guys in Twitter. That's what gets them mad. It's when he brings Mike in.
Scalp that fucking idiot. That was Buschetti.
All right, I didn't know Buschetti got that upset about it. So if he did, then I apologize for bringing you into it. I just thought I was being funny, and that's it.
Well, okay, so I'm glad we cleared this up.
Yeah, I never had a problem
The
with. I
next
never
time I
had a
see
problem
you,
with
you
that.
can unblock you. I don't know.
Call
how to do it.
TMZ. This feud is done. Rod, listen, always great with the prank calls. Come in and visit us. You still with that hot chick?
Yes, I am.
I don't know how the fuck that happens. You got to have fucking some sort of blackmail situation with her. I don't know, but
No, it's I have a ginormous penis.
are you still in cop school?
No, I told you, man. I got a union job now.
Oh, okay. Well, let's look it up. What union?
What?
You in? What union you in?
Teamsters.
Really? You driving a truck?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, you're putting those creative juices to work. But the calls are always good. Keep doing it, and come in to visit us again. All right?
All right, will do.
We love
you
you.
guys.
And lay off Dan's,
And again, I'm sorry.
lay off Dan's duty dumpster, and the fart
All right.
and the fart box. All right. I love you, Rod. Be good.
All right, have a good one.
The great Rod from Bayside. Well, there's nothing else to say except another one for the books, another one for the Museum of Broadcasting. Guys, thanks for stopping in.
One quick thing.
What?
The Museum of Sex is coming Monday. We're having a
I'm
1 year.
getting to the plugs.
All right,
Ralphie
sorry.
Sutton, go right ahead. What do you got?
All right, Museum of Sex is Sunday, our 1 year anniversary party for the SDR show. There'll be psychic strippers. There'll be a band. There'll be giveaways and all that
Psychic strippers or
stuff. Psychic.
Really?
They do
Okay.
table dances and then tell you your future.
I can see if you fuck me, you're going to get AIDS.
I see your cock growing.
You now have herpes. Surprise.
Okay.
And my Twitter, I am Ralph Sutton, and that's all I got.
Great, Ralph. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you,
Big
too.
J, what do you got, brother?
I will also be part of that Museum of Sex show. And
Awesome.
I got I'm on Twitter at Big J Okerson, and I'm on the road a bunch, so I'll be posting my dates on all social media.
And Legion of Skanks.
Yeah, I just work with Jay in Pittsburgh. Who fucking destroys.
Oh,
He
yes.
destroys. Check him out and look for him. Hopefully, work with me again if you'd like to and headlining. And great job, Jay.
Thank you, buddy.
Always the best. Always the best. The great Gino Bisconte.
Yeah,
Your
just Google
thoughts.
Gino
What
Bisconti.
VFW
Great
hall are you
time.
going to be at next week?
Look at the new guy.
Piling on.
Here comes the roast.
Excuse me, he's doing a beef and beer next week.
Beef and beer. What do you got, Gino?
Just Google Gino Bisconti. It's got all my dates. That's it.
Ribs burn off.
Google daddy.com.
What
Okay.
chili competition are you judging next week?
Look at Con. Just getting-
I'll be giving Chris Cotton a ride back to the city after this.
Yeah, he will be doing.
Let's
That he will
hear,
be
let's
doing.
hear your plugs, Dave Chappelle. All right.
At Cotton215, Twitter, Instagram, Sin City Comedy Podcast, Sin City Comedy.
Now, how many people think he said Sin City Comedy?
I can't
Wait,
talk
is that
shit.
not what he
Sin City
said?
Comedy
That's not what he said. What do you
Podcast.
think he said?
I thought he said Sin City.
Say it again.
Center City Comedy Podcast.
Center?
Yeah, there it is. Center
Yeah,
City
Center
Comedy.
He has
City.
trouble with his
Center City
elocution.
Center City.
Comedy.com. And also, Chloe Hilliard will be headlining April 28th.
Who?
At she's my friend, Chloe.
Oh
she's
my
one of she's
God,
part of
you
the-
are
Plug your
so-
friends,
You
I'm-
are
I'm-
so
I'm a
no,
good
no,
friend. I'm a
It's
good
so
friend.
embarrassing.
I love Chloe. I told her I would plug it for her because she.
So
You're trying to bang Chloe? Is she
I'm
hot?
not trying to plug. I'm not trying to. I don't want anything to do with Chloe.
He's trying to plug her, right? Jim?
Every,
I'm
every
not.
cute chick
Chloe-
on
Chloe,
Twitter.
I'm great.
It's a
If
new
she-
one.
if No,
By the
Chloe
way,
is a friend.
Go to
You know
Jennifer.com. That's every 2 weeks.
Chloe's
Stop
my,
it.
literally Chloe's like my cousin. I swear to God.
Well,
my
yeah.
wife knows Chloe.
We got no time to plug your cousin.
Where is she going to be? Didn't you just...
She's at Caroline's. She's Caroline's.
All right, enough.
April
Just
28th.
say your shit. Don't worry. About it.
Keep
doing
plugging
a
your
bringer
cousins
show
just so
at
you get more
By the way,
cousins.
Artie, someone asked me to say that you're playing June 5th at the Levoy Theater.
In Millville with Bob Levy.
Someone just texted me. Someone asked me to please say it on the show.
So,
That's funny.
don't ever do that again.
Sorry.
Don't ever do that.
I'm kidding. I got a bunch of gigs that I'm not proud of. I'll plug them. Yeah, I'll
you
be
see
at
what
that
happens,
theater,
Flo?
and But is that it? Did we get everybody?
I think that's it.
Flippin', you got anything to say for yourself?
The Met thing? Come on, plug something. Jesus Christ.
You can go to flippinoutradio.com to get my podcast.
I'm ashamed I asked that. But, Ralph, seriously, thanks. Nice
Thank
meeting
you so
buddy.
much for having me,
Come
man.
back again.
Absolutely.
And Jay, you're the best anytime. Gino, Chris, Filato, Chicago. Love you, Christine. Thank you. Take care. Brush your hair. We'll be back.
David Wright was in the store, and he said the main reason he is staying in New York is so that he can tongue punch Dan Filato's fart box.
Congratulations. Here's your graduation present.
Listen, what for? I got pinched.
Everybody gets pinched, but you did it right. You told them nothing, and they got nothing.
I thought you'd be mad.
Man, I'm not mad. I'm proud of you. You took your first pinch like a man, and you learned the two greatest things in life.
Well,
look at me. Never rat on your friends, and always keep your mouth shut.
The Artie Lang Uncensored Podcast at artiequitter.com.